So I have this as session 55.
Same.
Swiggity sweat.
55. I think I have it as
55.
No, 63. My numbering is different than yours.
Yeah, you're including the battles and other side things. And well, most recently in our adventure, you all bedded down for the night in the subterranean tunnel created by Rome near a large abandoned citadel in the middle of the Barrens, this large swath of dead land destroyed by the burning of the Emerin years ago. After a bit of dream watching from various individuals, you all slept with Aquilari, the Elicorn of the Fae, keeping watch above. Sleep did not necessarily come easily or peacefully, but it was successful, and in the morning, you ventured toward the citadel, while Aquilari volunteered to lure away Sarzarinth the Rot Prince, a rumored beast of terror that stalks this landscape. Hoping to potentially clear this area of threat so that it might be used to stage a moot between your Elven and Villian allies, you approached the citadel and saw an enormous dead and blackened tree growing out of the center of this structure, with ash drifting from its lifeless, burned branches toward dozens of nearby trees and then further on in every direction. You then entered the ruins, avoided a large tar fiend that seemingly was protecting the entrance to some degree, and delved further in. And that is where we pick back up. Still in the morning of Fredas, the 8th of Evening Star, as you move further into the Citadel's interior, looking for Sarzarinth's lair or any source of magic that might be helpful to glean insight from. Jiri had scoped out some of this layout in his gaseous state, but most recently, Toby Rama had just cast a spell. Toby, can you remind us what you were doing as you all approached this next room?
Yes, this seemed more of a well put together room, and so Toby just thought to cast Find Traps, and he kind of extends his hands and sends silvery mist out throughout the room, which can tell me that a trap is present and generally what it does, but does not specifically tell me, oh, it's right there.
As you send out this magical mist and it kind of permeates through this whole space, almost like a thin fog, all of a sudden it brightens and turns to silvery white coloration, indicating that there is indeed some version of a trap in this room, some sort of defensive mechanism intentionally placed here to deter those who should not walk here.
And then I guessed, does I learn the general nature of the danger posed by the trap? Does that get me anything a little bit, like, I don't know if it goes like, oh, there's a pitfall, or oh, there's this, but...
So you would know that your magical detection is not necessarily detecting sort of natural traps, like, oh, there's a crumbly section of floor here, or the ceiling is deteriorating, could collapse, but you're detecting the presence of intentional means of deterrent, and you get the nature that without getting a sense of location or indication of specifics of the trap, you gain the understanding that should this be activated, threats will become apparent.
Guys, there's a trap in here somewhere. I can't tell if it's a pressure plate or a tripwire, but there's something that if we just kind of run through here, we're going to activate. I can't get much more of a sense than that, though.
Maybe we should test every square foot.
I mean, if we could levitate a javelin and go poke, but there's a lot of area in the room to poke.
Oh, I'll just start blasting. And Jiri will air blast the space right in front of him.
Okay, where are you aiming your air blast? Sort of just straight
5 feet
forward?
in front of me. Yeah, 5 feet right in front of me.
5 feet in front of you toward the ground or just outward?
No, on the ground. Just like
Okay.
see if that space is safe.
You send a small gust of air downward to the space in front of you, and dust and debris just kind of scatter, creating a small smoke cloud that billows up from the ground that just gently settles.
Okay, seems safe. And I will step forward.
Okay.
DM, just real quick, is this like 4 pillars in the room that we're looking at, those circles?
It is. Yeah, they do seem to be darkened black pillars holding up the ceiling in this space.
And that thing in the middle, is that water, or is that just like a textured walkway?
It is a carpet that is sort of specifically designed in this zigzag pattern.
I'm gonna just see if this is motion activated, and I'm gonna take my glaive out of my quiver, and I'm just gonna send it into the room, and I just kind of want to do like a loose like zigzag through the space. Just, and you can paint it with your imagination, but just like, I'm not gonna go over every part, but just see if there's like, and I'm kind of keeping it upright, just trying to like drag it around and see if I prompt anything.
Okay. I'm gonna do. You're taking a javelin and hovering it.
My glaive, because a javelin is 10, 12 pounds, and a glaive is only 6.
Got it. Oh, that's strange.
I
Are you're intentionally dragging it on certain spaces?
Yeah, I think like it'll kind of like, I'll move it up and down, like it's this way, and I'll move it up and down and just kind of like trying to like just like make it touch as much as possible.
Okay. As you send it forward into the space, first not touching anything, nothing seems to happen. Nothing triggers or activates. And you tap it to a floor tile, and then tap it to another floor tile, and nothing seems to happen, at least on the couple tiles in front of you. Is there anywhere specifically you want to place it and touch it?
I think I definitely want to poke the bottom of it on this altar-like area, and then like whatever this head is.
Okay. You tap it and tink, tink, tink. Nothing seems to activate when touched to this altar that this carpet is sort of leading up to and coming from. And this large snake serpentine-like head that kind of leans out of the wall over the altar seems to also be inanimate. You give it a couple taps and it is stone.
I'm gonna step forward so other people can kind of try to get in here.
Okay.
Oh, Shadow Moby. Let's send him through the room. If he dies, he'll come back.
He was brave.
Okay, go ahead, Shadow Moby. Walk around. See if you can find all the traps. And I will direct Shadow Moby to just start meandering through the space.
Okay, Shadow Moby hopefully should be movable by you.
It's really funny. Also, the carpet's yes. What's his name?
Go, Shadow Moby, go.
And Shadow Moby can physically interact with a space, but does he walk? Does he hover?
I believe he walks, right? Because he
Okay.
is. Let me look up the spell again. I always forget.
If I remember from the anvil beneath Mount Aldathir, I don't think he actually has any corporeal weight on his steps because the anvil did not activate when he stepped on it.
I did think that was the case, that he physically interacts with spaces, but
he can touch
He
stuff.
can-
Yeah.
Yeah, he can, but he can move things, so he must
Yeah.
provide some form of like kinetic energy, right, to like objects. So if I had him like put his hands
Press
on the
on
ground
stuff?
in
Yeah.
front of him,
He's
he
doing a
can touch
handstand.
stuff.
okay.
Oh yeah, make him do a handstand.
But I feel like his feet should also work, right? Because like ideally he could like kick things, right? You could say kick
Sure.
that ball, right?
So
So
what
like,
if Jerry liked the idea of him doing a handstand?
all right, Shadow Moby, start walking on your hands. Walk around the room. Good idea, Telperion. He needs to learn how to be a performer.
Mobile.
100
This is more
handstands in
energy.
3 days.
Okay. Well, as Shadow Moby starts to move through the space, nothing seemingly activates per se.
Okay, it's completely safe then.
Generally doesn't touch the carpet yet.
If it's like heat related,
Toby, did you
There's some sort of intentional trap here to deter us.
But you didn't get a sense of the direction?
No. It's just a inkling.
Maybe the trap is it's a mental trap where we just think there's a trap and it slows us down.
Do we want to just pick a line to move through the room and everyone follow it exactly?
Yes.
I'd recommend.
You
I'd
go
recommend.
first.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the ceiling? And I look at the ceiling to see if there's like holes where shit could fall through or drop from, or
Sure, go ahead and make an investigation check.
the first roll.
For the new year.
17.
17. You look at the ceiling, and although it looks somewhat stable, stonework mostly, you do see where these columns touch the ceiling looks different. You see sort of spidering roots outward from the top of the columns that seem to cradle the ceiling. And then you follow them down and you realize these pillars, these columns holding up this space don't seem to be black stone. They seem to be like ashen charcoal tree. They are definitively bark upon closer inspection that are cradling this ceiling in this space. Almost like this stone cavern was built around roots that probably continue up higher.
That's bait. I think those columns are odd. Can you make Shadow Moby go touch the farthest column?
Sure, and I could also blast the columns if we needed to.
Well, maybe don't do that, because if it's holding something up that's threatening to come down on us, that might be. Imagine some stilts holding a boulder above your head. You wouldn't want to blast the stilts right away.
Jiri, did Shadow Movie just move from roughly this position to this position across the room?
Yep. And then, well, I directed him, go push that pillar down.
Okay.
I mean, wait a minute. Don't just touch it. Don't push it down.
As soon as Shadow Movie moves far enough to step upon the carpet, you see his form descend about a couple inches. And you see a flash of green come from the eyes of the snake. And you hear a shifting. That sounds less like stone and more like bark breaking. And from all four of these columns collapses four forms, like they were hollow spaces and entities just fell out of them. Two of them seem to be definitively dead lizard folk collapsing lifelessly to the ground.
Gross.
But the other two shift and move and stand. And I would like everyone to please roll initiative.
Woo!
Baby.
We sprung it. Pick your character first. Oh. 6.
Oh.
Oh, what's your dexterity, Rome?
+2.
I rolls these.
And then Telperion steals Toby's shit.
Oh my god, 3 19s.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay, Rome, you go slightly faster than me.
Jiri, what is you're faster than this entity? Rome, are you faster than Jiri?
Rome is now, we did a roll off because we're the same speed.
Oh, gotcha. Perfect. So Rome, looks like you are first. Rome, these two entities begin to stand, and they look like horribly emaciated, sinuous creatures that roughly resemble the form of lizard folk, except they have additional appendages falling out of their body that end in spikes rather than clawed reptilian hands. It looks up at you with gaunt yellow eyes and a stretching mouth, and they just... What do you do?
I'm going to, well, first of all, is that like a little wall that I'm kind of behind? Would I have to move here?
Yeah, you could functionally push past Jiri's space, but yeah, there's a small little wall here.
Okay, I just can't tell. Okay, so I'm gonna move there.
Jiri technically has a little cover right now.
Right, and I'm going to throw a produce flame at this guy right here.
So that's
Okay.
the force, or is that the actual? Oh, those are the fighters.
Well,
okay.
aren't these things are like moving around, even though they're like
Yeah,
dead?
the
These
two on the
ones
left are
are-
the active ones.
Gotcha,
Oh, so these
gotcha.
are these are actually dead. They're not
No,
moving.
no, I was wrong. You were right. That is the right one.
Okay, so yeah, I'm targeting this one with produce flame.
Perfect. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Roll 20.
16 does hit. What does it look like when Rome conjures some flame and sends it toward this creature?
She allows her roots to kind of like ember and creates like a fiery coal and throws it at it.
Very cool. Looks like 5 fire damage. You see it smash into this creature's form and definitely char part of its shoulder, and then it just looks directly at you and says, Is there anything else you do?
That's it.
Okay. Jiri, your turn.
All right, Jiri will pop around the corner here, like just kind of peek his head around.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just put myself on the other side, and then I'm gonna send out 2 because I've been blasting lately. I'm gonna send out 2 blasts at this guy right here.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Coming out of the corner, you send your first one a little too soon, and it just harmlessly glances off the wall right in front of you. But the second one does strike true. The 14 missing. But the 16 looks like 10 force damage.
Yep, and then I will use my bonus action to mentally command Shadow Moby, and I'll say to him, Shadow Moby, get out of there, they're gonna get you. Run for it. And I'm gonna send him.
Fury, he never stood a chance. Just let him go.
He can move 15 feet, so I'm gonna move him 15 feet that way.
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
gonna hide back again. Actually, I'm gonna make room for roulette.
Okay. That do it for your turn?
Yep.
This creature, finally standing upright, somewhat 7 feet tall, a bit taller than Jiri even, and just slowly walks toward Rome, the one who hit it with fire, and then suddenly just reaches out with all 4 of its limbs and tries to grapple you with its dark, very piercing claws. And it will make an embrace attack.
Critter, that movement you just made physically was scary.
Rome, you easily dodge this creature's embrace as you push it to the side, as it sort of clamped its arms around too quickly. And otherwise, will make... Oh, no, that is its single attack for that type of movement. Then the other creature moves a bit slower. Not sure what its counterpart is focusing on this moment, but it will move toward Telperion, the other one easily available in the room, and just rather than embracing, it sort of sends 2 of its spiky arms toward you.
AC 20.
First attack,
Bring it.
22. Second attack, 15. So one of them does get you, and it strikes more piercing through a gap in your armor and stabs you in the shoulder more intensely than you might have expected for 17 piercing damage.
I'll take it in full.
Okay. That is these creatures' turns. Toby Rama, you are up.
I cannot go through an ally square. I can like go diagonal.
I would say you can push through an ally square, but it's difficult terrain. You cannot go through an enemy square unless some sort of ability allows.
So
you
would
to.
this be essentially 20 feet or like 15 feet?
Where are you trying to move to?
Well, I'll start with that.
1, 2. You'll spend an extra 5 feet of movement
Okay.
getting there, so that'll be 15.
and then boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna go there,
Okay.
and I will cast Word of Radiance, and Toby will let out a big burst of radiant energy, needing them to make Constitution saves.
Okay. Will that affect Telperion as well, or is it creatures of your choice?
Creature of my choice.
Oh,
Okay. This will be the one on your right.
Nice.
Fail. This will be the one below you.
Nice.
Both fail. What do they take? What happens to them?
They will take 13 damage. Blessed Strike, I believe, is also radiant.
let's see.
I believe that is correct.
What does that mean?
Blessed Strike, radiant. Yep. So that's 13 radiant to both.
You see both of these creatures take this radiant damage, and not only is their skin charred, but it becomes a bit more translucent. It looks softer, less hardened, and resistant to pain.
And then, yeah, just for the sake of it, I will get a spell slot back with Harness Divine Power from a bonus action, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. Roulette, you are up.
I am probably gonna follow Toby. I don't want to swing at me. Yeah, I'm just gonna go here, opposite Telperion, and I'm gonna take two flaily strikes at it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll with advantage per flanking.
Oh,
That's the
27 definitely hits.
and that does that. 8
For
bludgeoning.
8 bludgeoning. Got it.
And then second swing.
These things are hardier than you might have expected for how emaciated and frail they look, but they're taking your hits rather well. But 19 hits as well.
13.
Another 13. But with these 2 strikes, you definitely see darkened black ichor like blood fly from their form, as you've definitely bloodied this creature.
In bonus action, I'm gonna shout for Alfie, hit it just once. And I'm gonna have him one charge of the wand for 3d4 plus 3 to the one that I just swung at.
Okay, another 9. Your missile's soaring toward its form. It looks
How-
pretty injured.
How tall is this walk or
Ceiling.
or right where like Rome is? How high above Rome is Rome's head?
That's such a
The
relaxed-
ceilings in this place are probably 20 feet. This kind of collapsed, barely manageable doorway is probably 10 feet high, not the whole height of the ceiling.
Okay. Can Alfie go here?
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful. Alfie will go there.
Okay.
That's turn.
Oh, we are
Will that do it for
fully
roulette?
flanking this guy.
Telperion, you are up.
All right, I'm going to pull out my Mooncrest Greatsword and swing twice with flanking advantage on the one between all of us.
Indeed.
All right, first swing. 17 plus. Oh, nat
Get to
20.
that 20.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Go ahead and roll.
So that's 4d6.
Damn.
And do me a
What
favor,
happened?
keep track of the first 2d6 and the second 2d6 separately, just for your greatsword problem.
Yeah, I was curious how that was going to work. Okay. A 4 and a 3. And then a 1 and a 2, which I both re-roll. Which was a 6 and a 5. I don't even know if I needed Static Strike.
Roll a 3, 4, 5, 6.
So I get so 12 plus
Oh, yeah.
5 is 17.
Neat.
Plus another 3 is 20. So 24 on that first strike. And I'm
Are
talking.
you going to choose to psionic or not?
No.
Okay.
No psionic strike. 24 on the first one.
Satisfyingly not wasting a resource. How do you kill this creature?
Oh, just slice straight through its guts, like, and it's just like bisects.
You bisect its top arms from its lower arms coming out its side, and it just crumples and falls to the ground and immediately begins to turn to sludge.
And in the same movement, Telperion like turns around, pivots this way, and then using that same stroke, swings at this one.
Very cool. Go ahead and roll it with advantage as well.
Not one, but also a 14, which is 23 to hit.
23 does hit.
Call that one.
Firebolt.
2 4s.
Produce flame.
Produce flame.
So I'm adding that another one. Another 4. Yep. What happens?
Nothing.
No additional trickle exploding, but
I wrote an item that did have that. So 4 times 3 is 12 plus 6 is 18 on this swing.
18 damage. Got it.
And then using using a little bit more movement, I'll just pivot over here just to open up some advantage. And then
okay,
Jerry,
I'll say that takes 10 feet of movement to get there, just to hop over this little altar here.
Jerry, do you want to pull? Or does it not matter? I can pull you 5 feet towards me if you want.
Okay.
With my bonus action, I'll just pull Jerry 5 feet. And
Beautiful.
Then, that's it.
Okay. Rome, you are up again.
I will be stepping back a little bit.
Okay.
And then we'll be targeting this one with Produce Flame.
Very well. Go ahead and roll it.
Ooh. Not great.
10 unfortunately misses. You send it just past this creature's flailing, multi-limbed form, and it just barely goes through a gap in his arms, sailing past Telperion toward the altar.
All right, that's all.
Jiri.
All right, watch out, Rim. I'm coming through. I'm gonna chop this thing up. All right, and then I'm gonna materialize my sword and smash this guy twice.
Okay, go for it. With advantage.
That's so satisfying to hear.
First strike hits, second does not. Give me a total on the damage for that first one.
17.
Perfect.
How can you even tell?
It's the first one if I hit. It's the second. It's the middle one. It's first plus the middle if I hit. It's first plus the last one if I miss.
Oh.
Oh no, it's just the last.
It's just the last one if you miss. Yeah, I was like, you can't do 15 on a miss.
Yeah. Perfect. You strike successfully, driving your blade into its form. Anything else you do for your turn?
Run, Shadow Moby, run!
He's a lost cause. Let him die with dignity.
You can't die.
Okay. If that completes your turn, with your sword jammed into its form, it opens all 4 of its claws and uses its embrace attack on you, trying to hug you.
Oh, Falcon's not close enough.
19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, you take 17 piercing damage and are grappled currently. The 32 is not relevant to you at this time.
You bastard.
Help.
But 17 damage, and this thing has its barbed hook-like claws jammed into you, 4 of them, and you are locked in place, unable to move.
I'm gonna shield Jiri so he doesn't take all that. Just because I think that kind of health is harder to regain. I rolled an 8. 8, 9, 10. 11 of that is blocked.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take only 6 points of damage rather than 17.
Jiri, I promise I'm sorry for giving you a headache. And then I give you that shield.
I don't like this hug that this thing is giving me.
Is it better than my one hug I one time gave you?
No, definitely not.
Perfect. Well, Toby Rama, it will be your turn, and you see this creature like an undead or a re-dead creature from Ocarina of Time. It has just leaped onto Jiri and is just like cradling him desperately.
Do you remember those?
No!
Oh, yes, I do.
They're horrifying when you're little too.
Oh, gross, Alex. Absolutely disgusting.
Is that what it looks like though?
Absolutely horrible.
Oh my god.
Like.
No, but is this like creature like this?
I'm gonna try and pull up an image for you guys while Toby's thinking about what he's doing.
I thought Peter was just gonna say, "I'm gonna have Rome roll a death."
I literally read about they're called bat flies. It's actually a fly. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I read about them this morning and this thing
Oh
That
god.
orange creature is a fly.
It's
What?
on Jerry's face, yeah.
That orange creature is a
Jerry's that
fly.
big.
That's not a spider.
It only has
No,
6 legs.
It's a
That's
fly.
the nastiest. That's so sick.
Yep.
I'm pissed.
This is what these creatures look like.
Oh.
Okay, but similar, right? I mean,
Yeah.
So, sure, yes. Although
This
humanoid size.
This one's a little one. Jerry's really big.
I will step back like that.
Okay, as you step back, it takes one of its claws and will swipe at you.
Oh, wait.
And I will use a charge of the Ring of Misdirection to cause an illusory double.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, how do we unmute
Yeah,
them?
I'm good.
There we go.
I back up as it swings for me. My ring will flare and it will slash through a version of Toby and just passes through it as I have become invisible.
Very
And
cool.
from there, I will take out my bow and take a shot at it, not using any
Very
of the
cool.
charges.
With advantage because you are an unseen attacker.
Very nice.
Wait, why is he unseen?
Because he used a ring of
He
misdirection.
used a ring of misdirection, which cast the mislead spell, conjuring a duplicate of himself that it harmlessly cut through.
Oh, that's
making
awesome.
himself invisible.
I didn't know
Um,
that.
I've never heard of the mislead spell before.
there's that. 17 to hit.
17 does hit.
Hot.
That'll do 8 piercing, 2 radiant.
I'll do.
You see its form was starting to become less translucent, becoming opaque again until it received another blast of your radiant damage, which froze that regenerative ability. You do indeed do 10 damage, and this thing looks very wounded. That strike going through its neck in its hug against Jiri. Although, as its reaction upon taking damage,
Well, it shouldn't have a reaction now. 'Cause it
you're
tried to attack me.
absolutely right. It tried to attack you. You're absolutely right. Yep. Perfect. Will that do it for Toby?
That's
Get
it for
dumped.
Toby.
Roulette, you are up.
I tried.
There's a puddle of sludge in front of me, right?
Not in this particular cavern.
No, I meant like the dead body or in front of me.
Oh yes,
Like,
yes.
I was-
The rapidly decomposing, strange, not necessarily quite undead, but defiled dark creature.
I'm looking to the pile of sludge to my right and the dead lizard to my left. I'm gonna step over the dead lizard as much as I can, and I'm just gonna get over to here, not stepping on the carpet because I watched Shadow Moby do that, and I'm just gonna take 2 swings at this thing. Not at
Okay,
advantage
go.
because I don't have any flanking.
Correct. Go ahead and roll him.
Attacky.
We're stealing.
That's fine. 14.
14 just misses.
Ooh.
Nar. And I will swing again.
You subconsciously pull your strike with fear of hitting Jiri in the process. But unfortunately, both are going to go wide.
Do I have confidence? It's looking terrible.
It's looking pretty bad.
I'm gonna have. Yeah, I'm just gonna have Alfie like wide step over this thing over to here, just getting in a defensive stance, trying to avoid the puddle of sludge.
Okay.
And that's my
You
turn.
can step over the dead creature, no problem. Telperion, you are up.
All right, with Jiri helping me flank, I'm gonna just do another 2 swings.
Go for it.
This
Roll with
creature,
advantage.
nat 18. So it's
Definitely is going to hit.
27, a 4 and a 6, plus another 6, so 12, 8, 16 total on the first hit.
16 total. You swipe, carving across its body, maybe even chopping off one of its limbs.
Yeah.
But it does not go down yet.
All right, and then how is it looking?
Like it could fall apart with a well-placed attack.
One more well-placed attack then with advantage. Nat 20, nat 16, so 25 total.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Another 2d6 plus 6, another 4 and a 6, so that's 16 again.
How do you kill this thing?
This time I go through it and then pull my sword out, and it just falls.
Just collapses. The painful barbed hooks just fall limply away from Jiri.
I think tried to steal my tabby. That's what you get. It's mine. Keep your hands off.
Yeah, I was trying to untie it with its claw things.
I know. Everybody's jealous of my tabby. I'm sick of it.
Poor Jiri was trying.
And during that fight, one of them ran across the carpet to get to us, right?
Indeed.
Okay.
I get the feeling that these things would have skittered. Are they?
Yeah, they kind of, with their arms kind of back behind them, they go. Just a terrifying, unnatural ergonomic movement.
Or anime run.
It cricked its neck so terribly. All right. Are we going to vault over this carpet then? Does anyone want to try to get something out of that ooze?
No.
No.
No, onward.
I jump over the carpet.
Okay.
I'm also going to jump over the carpet.
Oh, it's like
I'll
only
take
5 feet over here. I'm gonna jump over here.
I'll take
Very well. It's not too wide. All of you guys can safely leap that
I'm
distance.
gonna jump over it.
Can I take a
Even
look
with
down at
minimal
this?
strength.
Can I just take a quick look at this lizard folk thing that's dead next? That's there.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make a nature check.
I want to check this one too, specifically looking if it has the same black marks on its neck.
Or medicine. Actually, yeah, keep it with nature on roulette. Telperion, you do a medicine check.
Cool. Cold 4.
Cold 4. You don't see any charcoal around its neck or anything like that. Roulette, you do see, looking within, across the scales of this amphibious reptilian creature, you see bits of its skin, the natural lizard folk, not these slain weird creatures, that have sort of become bark-like, almost like they were one with the tree at some point.
Interesting.
Bound into these hollow roots.
Gross.
Do I sense that the roots are living, or are they like mega dead?
You can also give me a nature check.
Mega dead.
Actually, I would say for you, this could be more survival.
Ooh, yeah, let's go with survival. Like,
Rome, you place your hand against this root-like column, And the second your fingers make contact with it, you have a split second brain spasm where just for a split second, it's almost as if you're dreaming. You see fractal patterns of trees and you're immediately pulled out of it, pulling back your hand. You suspect very distinctly that there is not just a loss of life here. This is an undead root of a tree.
Whoa.
Corrupted by foul magic that is very unnatural.
Oh,
Zombie oak.
Rome, can you talk to undead plants?
I'm gonna second wind for the record.
There's only
Okay.
one way to find out. I cast Speak with Plants.
Okay. You cast your spell. What do you say to this tree?
Great undead tree. Tell me of your intentions. What happened to you? How did you come to take this form?
Criticism talk.
I'm considering a response. Rome, encouraging your thought that this is an undead tree, not just lifeless, that is virtually confirmed by the fact that a lifeless tree would not be able to give you a response. And the fact that this whisper comes back to you almost horrifies you, and the lack of balance of the natural cycle of this plant's life. And it just says, feed.
Was that feed? Like F-E-E-D? Am I frightened by this, like, response?
I would say just the fact that it did respond confirms your suspicion that it's undead. This is not a tree that has met its natural end and is lifeless and unable to give a response. It is something more unnatural than death. But the response itself doesn't frighten you mechanically or anything.
Okay, I cast Shape Water and, like, drape the water over the bark of the tree.
Do we have water?
You do so, and you just see charcoalish ash begin to shed from the root. The water limply caressing the surface of this root, not suffusing into it whatsoever.
A dark magic exists here to have modified these plants in this way. An abomination.
What did the tree say?
Feed. But feed it what? I don't know. It does not want water. I wonder if it seeks some other sustenance.
Do we have any rations we can feed it?
I don't know
I
that
think-
we want to feed an undead
Okay.
tree.
I kick the lizard corpse. Do you think
Ooh.
it fed off of these already?
Yeah, let's present it a corpse.
What
Oh,
are
I think it's drained this corpse of all of its essence.
Hmm.
Maybe it produced those other creatures through these two.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we leave it.
Yeah,
Not sure I want to feed and or poke the beast of whatever this tree is. Yeah.
If anything is communing with this tree, it knows we're here.
yeah. I think I'm more interested in seeking out the source of this
Yeah.
because I think these are lost.
Is that Wraith still in here?
Start to peek around the corner.
Was it scared?
Most recently, I believe, as you were about to enter this space, you had seen the wraith emerge through this wall.
It had done like this.
Yeah, I meant to do the thing. Emerge through this wall and then head in this direction before you lost sight of it.
Got it.
Chris, really quick, are these humanoid creatures by any chance?
You would not, they're so far from what once may have been a natural form. They are not specifically humanoid, but the lizard folk that are dead on the ground are. Also, just in case you are curious, I believe you and I had determined that your ability does not require humanoid anymore.
Oh, requires blood. Are these things bleeding?
They have a gross sludge-like ichor seeping out of them.
All right, Shadow Moby's gonna go over and like try to slurp it up and see what happens.
Hot.
Shadow Moby goes over to sort of almost investigate this thing's corpse, removing it from its headstand position and sort of just like almost like a Dementor stooping over, getting his face so close to this individual. And you see this creature almost like magnetized, lifted upward towards Moby slightly, and you see the ichor begin to particulate, this blood sludge becoming specks of blood that slowly drift into Moby's form, many of them, until Moby has a more visible form than normal.
And Jiri will like turn around and look and see Shadow Moby like,
Oh, great. Shadow Moby, come on, hurry up. We're going this way.
and Shadow Moby will just
Perfect.
drift on back.
So Shadow Moby, no longer a barely visible sort of elemental translucent mist creature, but more a presence of suspended black blood particles that now follows you all.
Interesting.
And you are all welcome to proceed. Telperion, you are getting to the very front portion of where Jiri had explored earlier. So you're the first to start seeing some of this additional space in this subterranean structure. What you first see going there is a continuing staircase.
Jerry, I believe you said something about stairs going down, right?
Yeah, this is as far as I got.
All right. Do we want to send? Do you have your little buddy with you? Can we send in a spy at this point?
Oh, I do.
Also, at this point, I'm gonna just listen really carefully down these stairs to try to hear anything.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh, Jesus. 22.
22, very good. You see this space. It looks like there is a raised walkway that is still free from tar, but there are lower spots just inches below that you can hear and see the bubbling tar all around this space, as well as this mist spirit, once again hovering right in front of you all, that just points backwards and begins to flow this way. And I'll actually say, from your perspective, you can see that this space is a small doorway that continues on, but there is some tar, likely a descending staircase covered in tar that leads into that space the mist spirit traveled into.
I'm gonna, still have that trap sensing spell, dude. Active. I don't want you to test it again.
It's a instantaneous thing. Yeah.
I can jump my speed without.
Right.
Here.
Oh, were you?
No, you walk out there.
I start walking out there.
Okay. You walk, and it's unnerving, the bubbling of tar happening right next to you, but the walkway seems sturdy enough.
Do we want to do our rope climb maneuver again?
Is it descending down to the right, or is everything here like even, or is it raised, or?
This looks like
With Telperion going there, he can see a descending staircase this direction.
Oh.
And there's a doorway.
But the ceiling of it is slanted in a way that you can't quite see out past further into that direction.
Gotcha.
I'm just going to jump.
I was gonna say, but if he jumps to the right, he can get over to that little landing.
I could get here pretty
Yes,
quick.
yeah, that is an even level.
I'm gonna do that because I can jump 20 feet, I believe,
Okay.
without it just from
Perfect.
standing. Right?
Stupid.
I'll say, still due to the ceiling's angle, you might have to go further to see what's past, but the staircase continues for 15 feet or so downward before opening up to what seems like a larger chamber of sorts.
I don't think I heard what I learned from my perception check.
Mostly the bubbling tar and the vision of
Okay.
the mist wraith. You didn't hear any sounds of motion elsewhere.
Okay, I'm just gonna wait here for everyone else to proceed. And also repeat.
Oh, Telperion, I'm gonna run and jump too, but you gotta pull me 5 feet because I can only jump like 5 feet.
I back up and then I telekinetically am prepped to pull him towards me. And
All right, and so then Jiri takes a running start and leaps.
Okay. Being able to leap 5 feet and being pulled 5 feet, I'll say, just for the fun of it, give me an acrobatics check. You'll make the distance. We'll just see how gracefully.
Does it go all the way down the stairs?
If only go 5.
Ooh, somersault.
Very dexterously.
He somersaults and like pops to his feet on the other side.
Very
Ah.
Willy Wonka at the gate. Yeah.
I give Jerry a high five.
Oh man, we're so athletic.
Well, the training's paying off.
What is the rules for running, start, jump?
Running start, you have to run at least 10 feet before jumping. And then I believe you can cover a horizontal distance of, I believe, like,
Twice your strength
no, equal to your strength score.
with a running leap. Ugh.
Yes.
Wait,
And then you can cover a vertical, you can traverse a vertical of your strength modifier.
So I
Much
can
less.
jump -1.
Yeah, I think there is a minimum of like 1 or something, but yeah, you're not, you don't have
Toby.
hops.
Toby, hold on a second. And I, Moby 3, that's still on me, still holding the arrow, that's still active with the immovable object. I'm just gonna tie a rope in some sense that it has like 10 feet of slack to it, and I will place it just directly halfway between, and I'm just gonna make it just like a. I'm gonna have Moby 3 hold the rope to Toby, so then he's gonna put it there, and we're just gonna swing across.
Okay. That will work. Yeah, I'll say with that, no checks necessary. You'll be able to cover that distance with a
Heck yeah.
swing.
I'm just gonna assume we all repeat that, but I will use a charge for Alfie to actually jump across to make sure he saves it, because I don't think he can grab the rope.
ropes.
He probably could, but I don't want him to.
Wait, which direction did that thing point?
It went
Pointed down
north.
here.
Oh,
No, it
It
pointed
went
over.
this way.
I think it went north.
Yeah.
Do we want to just look at this room before we go on? Since we're standing.
I'd say yeah. That's.
I just want to know what it's directing us away from, and because we
Yeah.
don't know if it's directing us towards danger or away from it.
Let me get a sense for undeath in this room, and I'll pulse out a sense with
I'm
Eyes
gonna-
of the Grave.
I'm going to pause additional actions at this time. Toby, Rama, and Telperion will say Telperion step to that bottom step of the stairs at the same time Toby's doing this. So go ahead and detect your divine sense or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, so within 60 feet, any undead creatures that aren't behind total cover, or protected from divination magic.
Toby, Rama, you can, I would say from you guys' perspective, Toby, Rama, you can see some stuff on the ground. How do I do this? Polygon reveal. There we go.
Polygon reveal.
Toby, Rama, right as you're doing your divine sense, you see a leathery pile of skin like that of an elephantoid individual, slain and on the ground here. And as your divine sense feels the jarring ping of an undead sensation off to this direction, Telperion sees a spike attached to a thin leathery scrap rocketing in his direction.
Oh, jeez.
I would like everyone to once more please roll initiative.
I want to
And
know
Telperion,
that thing was.
with you standing in this spot, you can actually see this. You guys aren't surprised it wasn't stealthing, but
Is the spike thing coming from the elephant pile?
it is not. It is coming from
If not,
something farther off in the distance.
Okay.
Over here. Similar in size to what you think an elephantoid loxodon individual might look like, but far fouler.
I knew it. Death trees making stuff from the things it absorbs.
I have to roll initiative for the specter too.
I do believe so. And what I might recommend you do is open a different tab on your online, go to D&D Beyond, type Spectre, because it should have all the Beyond 20 links and stuff already adjusted to it.
You can do it in your character sheet, like under the traits and features.
Amazing.
It lets you roll through it, yeah.
Beautiful. Okay.
I don't think it lets you roll initiative. That's the only issue.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, I will add a turn for him. Will you just let me know what that should be?
11.
11 for him.
3 11s. Last time was 3
Looks
19s.
like everyone may have rolled. All right, yeah, let's see what's going on here. Spectre, Jiri, what's the Spectre's dexterity?
+2.
+2, so it goes first. Roulette, is your dexterity 14 or 12?
14.
Okay, so it will move after you guys. All right, Toby Rama, you see this hooked arm rocketing toward Telperion. That does technically trigger the initiative, but it's not a surprise round per se, but it does get its attack off, but not its multi-attack. Telperion, you see it coming in time and are able to bend out of the way and see this harpoon rocket towards you before it's rapidly retracted back to the creature by some sinuous, stretchy material tethering it to its body. Toby Rama, your ping of divine sense has gone off. This is an undead creature, and you are able to move.
Did I get any others, or just a singular one?
Just that individual.
Okay.
And I'll try and go ahead and reveal some more of this room since you guys are functionally going to be moving into it.
I'll do like boom. It's like 20 feet there.
And there seems to be a loose fog just generated in this space that is just hovering.
I want to walk at this thing.
Don't want to do anything besides this. And Tether Vine, what do you do? Medium or
Telperion on
smaller?
deck.
This would not be a creature. This is probably a large creature.
It is considered a large creature, similar in stature to a loxodon.
I will pull out a non-tether vined arrow and I will fire at it. Just a normal bow shot.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
25 to hit.
25 absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nice shot, Toby.
9 and then 7 radiant.
Hot.
Beautiful. Very similarly to the other creature, its hardened, thick, leathery skin becomes translucent once it suffers this radiant damage. You think you've sort of diminished some of its hardened exoskeleton. 16 damage.
16 and yeah, because I want to save my other channel divinity. So that's it. And I'll peek behind here with getting me 25, and that's my turn.
Okay. Telperion, you are up.
All right. I don't want to get that close to anything that wants me that close, so I'm going to strafe this way. 5, 10.
This hulking bulbous form has all the muscle and leathery skin of a Loxodon, but it is also foul. Its eyes are deep black voids with ichor like dripping from them, and it also has a very mutated form that I'll go ahead and throw up here in a moment.
Oh yeah, I want to see it.
All right. I think I'm 20 feet away. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna sigh on it. I'm gonna mind sliver it, and also get out one of my slivers with my interact. So it needs to make an intelligence save against 14.
This is what the creature looks like.
Ugh,
Oh, love the pointy legs.
gnarly.
Ooh.
Okay, Mind Sliver.
Int save,
It will
please.
make its int save. That's a failure. Yours a 14?
Yeah, 6 damage. It's like 6 seconds
6 damage.
All right, and then I'm just gonna strafe back. I don't want to.
Is there an additional part of the damage
Yep.
for Mind Sliver?
Well, there's 6 damage, and then it has a negative D4 against the next save it has to make against one of us.
Got it.
So I'm gonna strafe back. I believe I can move that far. I think I can probably move one more. Yeah, because I only use
That's
2. Okay, so and then I'm gonna just call out. If it wants us in its close range, maybe keep distance instead. Keep away from that harpoon arm. And bonus action. When I was close enough to it, I want to just try to push it back 5 feet.
okay.
14.
Strength save?
Yeah. Jesus.
You see it just like push its shoulder back, but it is unfazed otherwise.
All right, that's my turn. I'm gonna
Jiri,
hold this D4
Shadow
so I don't
Moby's
forget.
turn.
Okay, you heard Telperion. Shadow Moby, don't get too close. So I'm gonna send it to just kind of hover in front of like Telperion, in between, kind of just blocking.
Okay. Perfect. If that'll do it for Shadow Moby, it will be Roulette's turn.
I guess we're staying away from that.
You don't have to.
We should group up. I'm gonna wander up back towards Telperion. And as I'm running, I'm just gonna firebolt over at the thing.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
It's heading right for its face. Go ahead and roll damage.
I thought you were gonna say Mez.
I wonder if we should have made it come to us instead.
10 fire damage.
10 fire
Nice.
damage. Got it. This thing is you're attacking it. You hit it with your mind sliver. You've blasted it with fire, but it barely looks singed. This thing is a durable, leathery, thick creature. But at least it is taking the damage.
And I will have Alfie come in between myself and Telperion, and I will use one additional charge of the thing.
The thingamabob.
Roll 3d4 plus 3. 13 force damage.
Another 13. Got it.
Oh, I already used some charges of this. What did I-
Finding small lesions in its fucked up skin covered carapace. They just detonate black ichor from within.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Is the creature's turn. It sort of hobbles up to one leg, limps over in your direction, screaming, "No!" And as it steps into the space of its Loxodon husk it may have come from, sort of drags it along with it and launches a harpoon arm out. We'll say one toward Telperion, but I'll give that one disadvantage because, well, it can physically attack the Spectre, right?
Yes.
Okay, so functionally it's looking at Telperion, but it's going to try and go through Shadow Moby, effectively making the attack on Shadow Moby. So let's go ahead and roll this. 21 to hit the Spectre.
Definitely hits.
Okay. With that, it would take, unless there's strange resistances and stuff, it might take 22 piercing damage.
Is it magical piercing?
It is not magical piercing.
So then it has resistance, so it takes 11 damage.
Okay, takes 11 damage and is then it needs to make a athletics or acrobatics check
Oh boy.
to avoid
I'm
being
gonna-
grappled. But go ahead and check if Spectre is immune to grappled. It might be immune.
It is immune.
Okay, so it retracts its harpoon arm rapidly and seems distraught and confused as it twists its head, confused why it made purchase with something that is not currently on its arm. And
Good job,
because
Shadow
it did not pull something toward it, it cannot use its sorrowful embrace, but it will continue to lumber forward a bit.
Oh, now get out of there, Shadow Moby. You did your job.
Shadow Movie, I always knew you were good for something.
And with that, it will be Jiri's turn.
All right, you stay away from my buddy.
I'm gonna run and wait. Hold on, actually, let me count steps. I think I've got enough. Oh yeah, easily. I'm gonna run, get behind this thing. Oops. And start smacking it with my sword.
Okay, go ahead and attack with advantage.
Wait, it's huge. So
Oh my fuck.
Lots and lots of damage. Go ahead and
Parse
for
through
me,
that.
please.
Oh boy. Let's see.
Oh my god.
22.
Plus 6,
33.
22 plus 8 is 30. 33 on the first hit.
Jeebus.
And 15 on the second hit.
God damn.
48
With
damage.
those attacks, you cleave so far into its leg and its side, only tendons are keeping its limbs together at that point. You have heavily wounded and bloodied this creature.
Yeah, that's right. You stay away from my buddy.
Thanks, Jerry. You met me, right?
No, I meant Shadow Moby. I mean, yes, I meant you. Of course.
Perfect. If that'll do it for Jiri, it will be Rome's turn.
All right. Rome is going to cast Entangle on the creature.
Okay.
Minus a d4 to its save.
Yes, what sort of save is it making? Is it a strength save?
Yep, it's a strength saving throw against my spell save DC.
Okay.
Is
Telperion, go ahead and roll your d4 -3. A 6 is not going to cut it.
yeah.
It is rapidly entangled. What does that look like? What does Rome do to entangle it in this space?
Vines in a 20-foot cube, 20-foot square, come up from the ground, which I would imagine would be like kind of crumbly kind of vines to like fit the vibe of the space, and like grapple this thing in like not really an orderly fashion, and kind of like keep it
Okay.
down the ground.
All the vines that kind of sprout from the ground and surround immediately begin to give off this ashy, drifting particulate mist off them. I also want to ask you, where are you positioning this 20-foot square? It's a rather large area, and if placed appropriately, might be able to not hit your allies, but
I don't know if something like that.
Is it restrained or grappled?
I think it's an area.
I believe Entangle is a full restrain.
So it's theoretically just advantage on any hit against it now.
So I might have
potentially.
Moby might need to be in this square.
Oh boy.
Moby's lived his purpose,
Oh,
Rome.
yeah, do it this way. Hold on. a
Put him in
second.
the corner.
Yeah, I'll just put him in a corner.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be like this. That's somewhat.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of room to not
funny
hit
how-
Jiri in there.
It's
but
funny how non-cinematographic that is. Like when you picture this like as a movie, you picture like just it's in the dead center, but then
Just
like
square.
it's just funny to think of like the corner.
yeah, perfect. Okay, so this is all sort of vines whipping around and trying to restrain whatever is in it, including this creature. You see it like reach out and grab part of its arm, and it's one of its limbs is still free. It can functionally attack, but it is restrained, unable to move, and disadvantage on attacks.
Yep.
Anything else for Rome?
That is all.
Toby, you are up.
Oh, also that area is difficult terrain, by the way.
Perfect. Toby, with your high passive perception and the one who has been repeatedly hitting things with radiant damage, you see its translucent skin showing nasty black veins within start to become slowly more opaque.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to do a little experiment.
You are muted.
You're muted, bro.
The black veins becoming more opaque, but it's paler.
When I have been hitting it with radiant, it has been becoming somewhat translucent, and now that it's back to like my-ish turn, it's kind of getting back to normal. So I'm gonna do an experiment and do Toll the Dead on this guy. So he needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
That will fail. It is missing hit points, so it'll be 2d12. Oh god. So it'll do 4 necrotic damage and then 1 radiant damage.
You see your sort of... Well, what does Toll the Dead usually look like for you?
I guess visually, there's just mist originating from Toby's hands as he's casting the spell, but it's not like traveling, it's just Toby's hand glows, and then like their head space begins to glow. And potentially they like recoil in pain.
Normally, when you do this, you see that mist sort of, not acidic, but like acridly necrosis starts to set in around their body. That does not happen here. But with a final flash of a burst of radiant energy from your god, the 1 damage of radiant damage does affect it and return it to its slightly translucent, less hardened form.
And I guess, I'm saying that the necrotic damage did not do damage. Did it help it in any way that I could
It does not
perceive?
seem that its wounds healed or anything like that upon taking necrotic damage. But it certainly seemed ineffective at rendering this thing wounded.
All right. I just wanted to see what necrotic damage would do. So that is my turn. I will keep hiding away behind the stairs.
Okay, giving yourself a bit of cover over there. Telperion, you are up.
All right. Well, things have changed. I'm gonna go slice at this thing. So I'm gonna go over here and start hacking. 2 attacks.
Okay. It's currently trying to free itself from its limbs being restrained by nasty looking vines, so it's distracted. Go ahead and attack with advantage.
I'll have to do that. 14, so 23.
Absolutely hits.
All right. Regular attack here. Oh, reroll that 1. All right, so 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so 15 damage on the first strike.
Okay.
And I put my sword in it, and then I use psionics to like rotate the sword back to me, so it like does an extra, like, you know, just like cuts this piece of it off, and then I go and do another swing.
Perfect. Roll it.
13 plus 9 is 22.
13 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll
Same
damage.
thing as before. Rerolling the 1. Love to do that. 4. So that is 13 damage. Right. Yeah.
13 damage. Got it.
And then I will. I don't really have anything to do with my bonus action for once because I'm saving my resources.
It has been severely cut up. It is certainly in a bloodied state, if I didn't say that before.
Does anyone need a pull? All right, I just try to.
Yes, sir.
Just try to push it 5 feet into the difficult terrain.
Okay.
So 14 strength save. Does anyone need a drag?
Kind of glad it succeeded there, because I don't really know what happens to forced movement within being restrained. So that's a thought experiment for another time, but it seems resistant to it in this moment.
I will do nothing and just stay here.
Okay.
My turn.
Shadow Moby's turn.
Okay, I'm also glad I didn't move because now Shadow Moby can attack with advantage, which he will be doing using his life drain.
You have that from restrained anyway.
Yep. More than one source of advantage, but go ahead and roll.
Yeah, but it's better when it's Gio and him teaming up for advantage.
That's true. Yeah. This creature of black shadow blood attacking this behemoth. Did you go ahead and roll that quite yet?
I don't know if it can roll.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, you might have to just roll twice. 18 plus modifiers will definitely hit.
24, and it does 3d6 damage.
What does it look like when, unless my memory is faulty, for the first time Moby attacks something with vicious intent?
Oh, it's definitely like Dementor, like he's sucking its soul out.
Very cool.
And so it just
14, what kind of damage?
necrotic.
Necrotic. He siphons nothing as this creature is not damaged by this necrosis Shadow Moby's trying to affect him with.
Great job, Shadow Moby. You did it. Good work.
I specifically
that'll do it
didn't
for-
call it out on my turn because I didn't think anyone else could do necrotic damage.
I mean, that's the only attack that he can do. So
Is there any other effects to that attack, or does the damage have to hit for that to matter?
I believe it has to hit because it's a Constitution saving throw, and then it reduces their maximum hit points by the damage taken.
According to the damage, yeah, okay. Sorry about that.
That's all good.
Spectre's turn over. Roulette, it is your turn.
Oh Jesus, this phantom's gonna die. I'm just. He said it's looking bloodied. I don't know. I haven't used this spell yet. Yeah, I'm just gonna take 2 quick advantage swings at it.
Okay. Go for it. Yeah, even standing where you are, your reach
It's
is
not.
very helpful. 24 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll.
It's funny because it's.
Oh, it's blinding.
I do the blinding like light thing. 9 bludgeoning.
9 bludgeoning. Definitely you crack part of its thin, translucent, bony structure within.
Next attack. 18.
18 will still hit.
Hey, oh, hey. Give me a high one. 9 more.
Another 9. Successful. This thing's looking pretty weak.
Woof.
And then bonus action. I'm gonna have Alfie go up and take a swing himself.
Okay.
He never gets to do that. It's my spell attack modifier, which is I forget. +7.
Powered rend.
Force empowered rend. D20 plus this +7. Woo, 23.
Definitely hits.
I have no
Oh,
idea
and
which
go ahead
that-
and roll with advantage because it is restrained.
Oh my god. Come on, Alfie, get in that 20.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
No, but the 23 definitely hits.
1d8 plus 3. 1d8 plus 3. See an 8.
No.
Jesus. Big hard peck.
Does that have to save against your blind? Blinding fighting?
No, that's a reaction when I get
Oh,
hit.
I see. Sorry.
Where did Alfie strike this thing? Just a flavor, curiosity.
Alfie's going for the meatiest part of this thing because
18.
Alfie does not
Okay.
peck very often, so he's going
So
for
Alfie
the big
pecks
head.
in the gluttonous belly of this creature, and when pulling away, its part of its skin just limply falls out, and you see innards begin to spill out of this thing. This thing is very weakened and virtually at risk of falling over any minute now.
Oh, no.
Will that do it for your turn?
Yes, that's my turn.
But it gets one final tab.
It is its turn. At the start of its turn, I need everyone within 5 feet, Alfie, Shadow Moby, Telperion, and Jiri, to please make a wisdom saving throw.
Is this for charm effects?
It is not a charmed effect.
At 20.
And it's a wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
That should be D20 for him.
I got my moon on it.
0.
Alfie's covered in ichor.
Oh.
God, is it gonna be?
Wow.
So only
It-
Alfie.
It screams, "Stay!" in this haunting, horrible sound, jarring, desperate for people around it to stay. It is lonely. Most of you resist the sound of the psychic screech, but Alfie's circuits can't quite handle it and takes 14 psychic damage.
Beautiful.
And then it will make its multi-attack, and because other allies are near enough to it, it does have advantage on the roll. You guys were smart to stay away from it. Sounds like you're going to do a thing.
Alfie will use his frantic panic reaction to invoke disadvantage on
Okay.
each attack.
Turning this into a normal strike.
Yeah.
Oh, and because he has 2 reactions, you're doing this on both attacks, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very fucking cool. I think he's going to go for the one that sort of responded to his jarring scream. So I think he's going to make these against Alfie. So Alfie's sort of defending himself in this moment.
Wait, hold on. I just want to confirm something.
I don't
That
think
he
Alfie
can do it for himself.
Yeah, he can't do it. He can't impose disadvantage if it's against
Oh, it's only a
himself.
different creature. Okay. So this will still be at advantage for this moment. His harpoon arm reaches back, breaking some of the vines, and slams jutting into Alfie's exterior and catching, pulling him inward for 22 piercing damage.
Alfie is nearly fried.
And then with his sorrowful embrace, I need Alfie to please make another wisdom saving throw.
Do I take half that if I succeed?
Yes.
Alfie shuts down.
Okay. You see sparks fly out of Alfie's what's the amber ore called? Veritite. The veritite from behind those foci, sparks start to fly from his head and his limbs start to crimple a bit and falls inert. And then you just see this thing like just hold Alfie tight. He is considered grappled and not currently active. Jiri, it is your turn.
Alright, slicey slice.
Kill this fool.
Great. Do you have
Don't worry. Alfie would have done it anyway.
Ah! Oh, first strike goes wide. But with a miss, you still technically injure him.
Yeah. For 4 damage.
Yeah, not quite enough to kill him.
And then a 27
very nearly,
for 13 damage.
How would you like to kill this monstrosity?
I don't know what to do for that whiff. I feel like he like his sword gets like stuck in his sheath or something like that. And, like he can't pull it out right away. And he finally gets it out and then like slices through it as he like draws
It's that
it
damn lightning crooked design. Sometimes it
Okay.
snags on the sheath. Yeah.
And then when he like yanks it hard enough, it just like comes out and he like just slices this thing in half.
Perfect. Your blade almost
like-
seeming like it elongates, cutting the other end of where Alfie had ripped out its guts. You finish the job with the back half of him, and then slowly with a scream, its top half just falls to the ground.
Great work, Shadow Moby. You're the hero. Oh, but Elfie, you don't look so good.
And with that, if we want, we're at 2 hours. We could take a quick bio break if people want to do that and come back to the aftermath of this.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Critter, quick rules bargaining thing. So it was restrained, so it should have had disadvantage on its attacks. It should have been even rolls.
Yeah, you're so right. There are
So
multiple.
so can I just-
Yeah.
To save myself the spell slot, can I just say Alfie has 1 hit point because he would have taken a ton of damage from the attacks anyway?
Well, I would say I rolled with it advantage. I should just re-roll to see
Yeah.
if it really hit him.
Oh, sure. You can do.
Because if this new roll hits him, the same result will apply. But if it misses him, then he would have taken none of that damage.
I was just looking at the first roll there, but yeah.
Which, yeah, this is great. I don't
It's
love
fine.
resolving this after the fact, but let's go ahead and give it a
It's-
d20 roll. So it's just normal harpoon arm right here. With an 11, he missed Alfie. He tried to pull him in close. All that still happened. He just wasn't able to puncture Alfie's body, and his circuits were not fried. Alfie still took the damage for the original psychic scream damage, but not the harpoon damage. So
Okay,
Alfie's
okay.
a little hurt, but
he has to.
not destroyed.
He's still going to use his repairs just to get back up to full health, which I
Okay.
actually don't know if it's going to be full health, but okay. Thank you. Bathroom break.
Yeah, nope, good call.
That's still looking good.
I can't believe how much easier it is to track so many things on Roll20 rather than in my notebook like I used to.
How do you mean?
Just like there's so much data the tokens can store within them, aura information, abilities that transfer from D&D Beyond, AC and hit points that I can constantly tinker with, reactions, whether it's been used or not, like things like that. I used to always write down turn by turn and like mark off, like tally mark off from their hit points and have their AC written, and I would have to pre-write all that stuff, but this is so much easier. I am pretty bummed in that baby stuff was such a chaotic whirlwind. I am no farther in God of War than I was.
Yeah. The only thing, and I don't know if you've gotten to this point, that I was maybe hoping is just chill time with the baby reading, if you've done any reading.
I have not at all.
Yeah.
I absolutely could have. My spare time when me or Mary has the baby and they're sleeping or something, it's just been like I get on my phone and I tinker around on D&D Beyond, and like I tinker with this monster's abilities, or I want to do this thing that's cooler than what I had previously, etc.
Yeah, because I figured having, even if you're just on easy watch with Declan, if you could feasibly play a game or not, but probably not. I totally could game. I probably wouldn't do much Overwatch right now, but God of War I could totally do because I can pause that and stuff like that. I just haven't, and reading would be even easier. I just haven't done it. What I have done though is really catch up on Critical Role. I rewatched Mighty 9 Part 1, finished Part 2, watched like 3 episodes of Campaign 3 that I was behind on. I've just started the first 20 minutes of episode 44, the most recent one. From this past Thursday, so gotcha. Yes, I am
like
current.
We did all the you are current, including
current.
The one from a couple days ago.
From 2 days ago, no. I think that was actually 45 because 44 I think is up on YouTube. But
gotcha.
How great was Jester healing towards the end of the Ukatel fight?
Yeah, that was very cool.
Also, geez, the chaotic combat when they came back from the fire plane.
Yes,
so
absolutely
funny.
So funny and so stupid. And they really committed to the bit. We won't say anything else because I don't want to ruin it for Steve and Mike, but absolutely incredible.
Wait, what? This is campaign 2?
3.
Campaign 3 stuff.
Oh. No.
We mentioned Jester for a second because of the Mighty 9 reunited 2-part episode, but no, right now we're talking campaign 3. Which there's just a very chaotic combat that was absurdly stupid and very funny. and
Matt, I feel like Matt for a while was just like, I'm not annoyed, I just don't know what to do. How to respond to this. Yeah, there was a lot of
Get baby.
Dude, that journal is very cool. Notebook.
Say it again.
Get baby.
Get baby. I'll get baby afterward. He's sleeping on Mary right now.
He's still sleeping.
Lazy
usually generally when he feeds, he's feeding. He'll like sleep for
he's an alien.
He's a character.
Or like a vampire. Yeah, just a little bloodsucker. He will sleep for 3 or 4 hours if he's full belly.
How'd you guys decide on the name Declan? Was that like a family name?
No, neither of them are family names. The middle name's funny. But Declan is just like a really cool name we've liked for a long time. I used it for a character, though we spelled it different. We like not super trendy, weird names, but names that aren't, sorry to anyone this might offend, Joe, Jack, John. Like, I'm not interested in those names.
Yeah. Ben.
Nothing wrong with them. I'm not interested in them. And we love Irish names.
Viewers. The only
Declan Declan and Maeve and Nora and Shannon. We like a lot of like nice Irish names that like have cool. Mary's big into what does that name mean in Gaelic too. So we landed on Declan a long time ago for a contender, which ended up winning out over some of our other boy names that were possible. And then the middle name James, I shit you not, is from James Taylor, the artist.
Oh my god.
James Taylor is such a core piece of Sharp family foundational like vibe, and all of them, it's their favorite thing ever. Every time we go to Hilton Head or back home, James Taylor's always playing. It was her mom's favorite artist who always had it playing, so it's just like for meaning to their family, we're like, we love that name, Declan James, so let's go with it.
DJ.
Very cool.
DJ
Was
K.
it like? Did it take a long time to pick the name, or was it like difficult? Or did you
even 2 years before we were trying, we've been thinking through names. So yes, it has been a painstaking process of eliminating names, and it's so sad when one of us loves a name and the other hates it. And
Yeah,
I also think I was more involved than probably average husband. Like so many of Mary's family, all the husbands didn't give a shit about their names. They're like, you name it, whatever. And I'm like, that's such a weird attitude. I care so much about what the name is. And I want the initials to be right. I don't want there to be like any like bad initials or like fucked up ways that, like Ryan, my brother, Michael and I's brother in between us, already has said they're little dickling, but like there's other ways you can just bastardize all sorts of names that we tried to avoid. And yeah, we care a lot about the name, and so
you couldn't go like Catherine Karen, because then that's rough with initials.
Exactly. Like that's something that like is in our thought process. Like we don't want to fuck them over with some shitty name or initial sequence, or we care way too much.
I also feel like
the name
Declan being a cool name but not stereotypical. If they, as he grows up and is maybe not the biggest fan, he could just go DJ. Like that's so.
He could go DJ. I'll probably call him D. Like or I mean, he might want to go DK. I don't fucking know. Kids call people by their initials sometimes. I call MJ every day. So yeah, who knows what it'll become? But yeah, I definitely like the name.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm constantly looking at my little SPI.
I don't think
Dude, putting these together is difficult.
Yes, it is.
Such fat fingers.
I know, and the single dot cubes are insane.
Mike and Steve, what did you guys get?
Art is terrible too. Yeah.
We got magic cards this year, but last year we got I believe Leafeon sitting here that I need to do.
Garchomp.
I love it. That was such a fun little gift. Yeah, so I got this and the ABCs of D&D from Tim and Alex, so very well done this time of year. Thank you both. And no thanks to MJ and Steve for getting us a duplicate late.
Yeah, I'm gonna return.
Just kidding. That was very thoughtful, and I do appreciate it because it's an amazing gift. It just is so funny. You guys got the same thing.
There's a 1, 2, 3 of D&D.
Tim, shut up. That's two things.
That's so funny. That's amazing though. I already have it. I don't know if I've sent you guys a picture, but we have this like acrylic shelf series of shelves that I installed in the nursery that like is clear so you can see the whole books, and we have rows of books, and I already have it up on the bookshelf, so it looks very nice. But with that, this monstrosity has been slain, and it's time to get rid of Twin Elms. What do you all do in the aftermath of this creature being felled?
Alfie takes quick 12 seconds, goes into low power mode, and does some internal readjustment and
Repairs.
circuitry from his battery packs, and
he gets 3 of those a day. So did he do 2 out of 3?
Day, so
okay.
he used 2 of them.
How's everyone else looking? I'm still good. Is anyone else hurting badly?
Hey.
Jerry, you doing okay?
I'm a little scratched and bruised. Wait, Rome, do you have any of those like delicious berries?
Ooh, I do have some of those delicious berries, and I grow a branch with 10 good berries on the end of it.
Oh, can I have like exactly? I think I need 6 of them. No, I need 7. Can I have 7?
Yes, take them from my branch.
Okay, thank you.
Goodberry being cast, Jiri healing, Toby offering help potentially.
I don't think you can heal Shadow Moby, but
Very well. what is this room we're in? We're gonna start
Yeah.
looking around at this chamber.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll say
totally
with-
want to linger, but
Sure. With your passive perception, you gather the essence of this room pretty quickly. This seems to be some sort of perhaps central, maybe ritual chamber, maybe sort of ceremony room. There are many not lit braziers around the space, as well as some iconography on the ground, various statues throughout that have been toppled, some dilapidated and crumbling, many destroyed and completely in rubble as they've fallen over, some shredded parchment and robes. Definitely used to be activity here, but a heavy layer of fog and disuse sort of permeates this space. Perhaps most notably, there's a very large, beautifully intricate wooden door over here with two serpentine figures whose heads are coiled up and toward each other, almost in the loose shape of a heart, but sort of just arching away from each other and their heads arching back toward each other. Two snake-like figures looking at each other, carved into this beautiful wooden door.
I'm gonna take a look at these like statue things around.
Sure.
Husks.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a investigation check.
and then I'd like to go investigate the husk of the Loxodon.
Okay, go for that as well. Go ahead and give me investigation, Toby. Jiri, with a 14, these things are clearly stone statues. They seem to be of various lizard folk individual, but armored comparatively to some of the more natural lizard folk you've seen throughout this space. You're unsure whether or not this is something akin to the basilisk you guys have fought before, if these were individuals turned to stone, or if these are actually just carved stone statues of regal or notable figures of this seemingly lizard folk society down here.
I'll give it a push to see if it just like topples over.
Yeah, you give it a push, and it's heavy, but with your even limited strength, you can push it with enough force to knock it over, and as it tips, it kind of cracks in a couple places, segmenting into pieces.
Yeah, I don't know what these statues are, but they're very easily broken, guys, so be careful.
Yeah, and then what's
Toby
the...
Rama, yeah, with a 16, you take a look at this Loxodon individual, and it is a gruesome sight. It is just like mucus and remains of dark, dried red blood and loose skin.
Like
It
it's...
almost...
Is it clear that the thing we fought, like, emerged from it, theoretically?
It certainly seems that way with the size comparison and the way that there are no innards left in this horribly eviscerated Loxodon person. With a 16, you do actually see something. Behind a flap of thick, leathery skin, there's a shiny piece of brass. And when you pull it out, it seems to be a very segmented, geometric shape key that looks loosely like snake iconography, but it is a very geometric, angled metal device.
Snake thing. Do you guys want to investigate that door, or do you want to just... I would rather keep moving in the direction the wraith lead us. I can go over and see if that'll fit it, and I'll walk over this way and get a glimpse and see if the door seems locked, if this potential key would work on it.
You walk over there to check it out?
Yeah. I'm not going to insert the key yet, but just see if it...
You examine the door, and where you expect to be a keyhole, there is one, but there's also one on the other door. This one seems to be the size to be put into one, but you seemingly only have one key for a 2-key lock.
Having I'm just wondering, like, we've gone through doors that required braziers to be lit. Can I just take a quick walk around and like take a look at those 4 unlit braziers?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Heck yeah.
Dirty.
With the 20, suspecting this could be similar to things you've encountered in the past, you give it a sort of ocular pat down of checking for glyphs, sigil sequences, anything like that. They seem very mundane, and you suspect they are not intended to be arcanely triggered for this door.
Hearing the statue fall from Jiri pushing a statue over, I'm going to, just for 2 of the statues, put them into my Home of the Dragon's Horde on 2 more pages.
I feel like there's definitely a cartoon or something I've seen of that, but you just sort of open the book and clasp it, and it sucks it down into the page's contents for 2 lizard folk statues.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, it seems like we probably can't even go this way, so we ready to keep following this spirit?
Who wants to hold on to this other key?
I mean, I thought the spirit pointed us into this room, didn't
No, it was back in the other room.
I just wanted to look
here.
to see where it wasn't leading us.
Exactly.
As soon as I stepped in to look, that thing started attacking.
Wait, this is an important question. Why are we trusting the spirit again?
I don't think we are.
Someone rolled in a decent insight check against it, and it didn't seem hostile at all. This was last session. It just seemed existing. I don't know.
Is Jiri more so asked that question as well?
Topian will answer Jiri and say, Jiri, I don't actually know if I do trust it. That's why I wanted to see if it was leading us away from, like, why it would maybe lead us away from this room. There was harm in this room, and it led us not towards it. So that somewhat speaks in favor. And also, it seems like we can't get through here without exploring more. So this is a dead end, and regardless of whether we trust it or not, I think we need to go where it went.
Tobirama, you do also recall that you detected a distinctly, unquestionably undead essence from that mist wraith.
Right. Yeah, so I'm ready to start walking out, and I think we had seen that there was a little bit of a tar pit we needed to get past.
Indeed.
Roulette, can we get a new rope swing set up?
Oh, yes.
Over yonder.
I'll have Moby 3 dangle the rope swing. And Critter, it lasts an hour from when I cast it, and the hour started at the beginning of the first tar pit, so I don't know what.
Yeah, is it immovable object? Can you continuously end its effect and re-trigger its effect?
So I choose the creatures that can move it without impact of spell. So Moby 3
got it.
is holding just a regular arrow. Everyone else it's a movable arrow for it. So
got it. And then yes, well within the time limits. Yeah.
So I will set up the rope swing again with that same piece of rope to help us traverse that little 10-foot patch of goop.
Okay.
We
Do you go in first?
I'll say I probably did.
I mean, I can go in first. I don't need the rope, so
I can shoot some light ahead if we're interested.
You just light my thing. I just grab my glaive.
I'll cast light on something for Tilperian.
Yep. I'll go first, just because I don't need the rope, and that way I can like help you on the other end of it. So I hop over here with my lighted glaive.
You enter into this further room, and you see a sort of ornately painted golden chest over here, and the mist spirit thing is just hovering vertically next to it with its arm stretched pointing down toward the chest. And once more you see a bunch of tar surrounding what is likely a small divot in the room floor.
Should I cast my find traps again?
Or we could just tell Shadow Moby to open it up.
We could do that too.
From like 10-15 feet away, it just looks like a treasure chest kind of thing.
Yeah, very ornate. Seems from your vision in your high passive investigation, it seems to be a wooden chest, but painted with gold. But distinctly wood striations and texture, but seems to be very ornate and delicately carved. Real care was given to the allocation of this chest in this spot.
I could move the chest and we could take it into that bigger room.
I like that. If you can manage that, that'd be.
I'm picking it up first. See what happens.
I'll just want to try to do this in single movements. I can move it 30 feet, and I'd love to get to the other side. I can't.
I mean, just get it over here between us. I'm gonna take a step back over here.
Oh, I'll catch it.
It's gonna have to land right here. Or I mean, I could put it right here instead.
Yeah, just put it right between us.
All right. I'll use my telekinetic movement, which I have not yet used, and I will try to lift this chest up and then put it gently right between me and Roulette.
Okay. You use your telekinetic movement, the stronger version, to lift what looks like, though small-ish, seeming sizable chest, could be heavy. And you focus and you pull, and it does not seem to be budging from its location.
All right.
Noticing it doesn't budge, I look at like it's underneath. Does it look like it's connecting, or does it just look like it's sitting on stone?
Well, it seems to be sitting on stone.
Did I feel like the telekinesis like I can't did I feel like
I would say give me a general intelligence check.
14.
14, you sensed you were able to grasp the chest, but it almost seemed like there was more to it. It's almost like it has anchors, or its wooden form is rooted in place.
I don't think it's alive in any sense. Because I can't move creatures that could resist me, and that just felt like I couldn't pull it up.
Wonder if it's another like outgrowth of the tree.
That they turned
That's
into
been
a
painted gold, so
That they turned into a chest.
I mean that's what it was in the last room. It was just a hole in the pillar. This might be something similar.
I could just flick it open from here.
Open it.
Ready?
You could try.
Is everyone where they want to be when I open this?
Jerry, could I get where you're standing?
Okay. Yeah, jump on my shoulders.
I use Kair to try to push whatever looks like the latch, whatever's holding it, and then should try to lift the lid.
You grasp the latch telekinetically and give it a lift, and it seems locked.
Oh, what's the new key?
Yeah, key. You want me? You want to grab it?
I'll Kair the key out of your hand,
Yeah.
bring it over, and try to Kair the chest.
You hover the key over, it fits seamlessly into the chest and twists, and you hear a click of the latch. Do you open the top?
Can I please cast my spell? I'm worried.
I'm hesitating because I'm just looking around again because I'm like, all right.
I will again cast Find Traps from Jerry's shoulders.
Okay.
Let
Please
me
go ahead and mark off
120
that
feet.
spell.
Yep.
You distinct, unquestionably, there is a trap in that room. Similarly, your mist just kind of permeates the space and flashes brightly to indicate, yes, there is a trap.
It is very much trapped.
But yeah, I'm curious on, you had asked the question within the wording of the spell of what the nature of it was or something.
The general nature of the danger posed.
You get a sense that it is not sort of an immediate detonation type effect. It's not a surge of something, but rather a subtler trap.
I don't think it's gonna, send out a magic force if we open it, but something is set to unleash something.
How close do you have to be to lift that lid?
60 feet.
What if we just both retreat to the last room and we just open it from 60 feet? You can get on Jerry's shoulders now.
I could do that. The only thing I'm nervous about is that it's going to be something like smoke or like some kind of toxic, like something we can't see, but
I'll fan it away.
yeah, I mean, there's no choice to it. We have to open it because there's no other.
And we can't move it.
All right. I want to just like. Do you want to get out of here, Roulette?
Yes, I will back up. Jerry, catch me!
Okay.
We'll go into that space. Yeah, Jerry, make a strength check, athletics.
They're the same.
Thank God.
Okay, you satisfactorily brace yourself, and Roulette runs into you harmlessly, and you're not pushed backward into tar.
I'm also rope swinging into him, so it's like gentle.
Yeah.
Jerry,
Catch you and put you on my shoulders and say, "Let's go, Roulette."
All right. Well, you gotta clear that spot so I can jump to you and then be able to see the chest.
Yeah, Telpier, I'm not gonna catch you two. That's too much.
Right. Get out of the way.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. And then I'll hop over. All right, everyone. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I'll lift up the chest.
As soon as the wooden box opens, underneath the undercovering, you see a bright glowing green symbol, like a rune, a light, and it just hums and just continues to pulsate. But within the box, cradled on a delicate, like satin blue pillow, seems to be a spherical green crystal orb that looks distinctly hewn somehow from emerald, perhaps, but it's slightly translucent and seems hollow. The mist spirit just continues to hover next to it and pointing straight toward the orb.
This just keeps getting better. I can bring us that orb, but what if that's the orb is that going to trap us? I mean, do you all want to start heading into the other room, and I can bring it out slowly into the other room? So
can you also grab the key too?
I'll grab the key now. We'll have to take that back to Toby.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
Toby
let
has the key.
Let's let Telperion do this while we walk into the other room.
So I'll follow you all, and we jostle around each other. Okay, so how I envision this is I essentially want to keep the range the same, like however far it is from me, so 35 feet. And I guess I have to pull it closer to get it out of this opening. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, do you have to maintain sight to manipulate stuff like that? Or
Yeah, I'll walk all the way over here, and then I'll hop there because I'm just not trusting. And then I will pull it out to here. And then once they are all down in the other room, I'll go put it where Jiri is representing, and then I'll snake around and
yeah, we're keeping our distance.
Yeah, and then I'll keep my distance. So I'm pretty much just trying to always have it 20 feet away from me at least.
This is moving a couch down a hallway.
Yeah. Did it?
Okay. So can you position yourself, Telperion, exactly in the spot you are when you first try and potentially telekinetically grasp and lift the orb from its resting place?
Roulette, get over here.
Can't even move back a
Okay.
little bit.
No, I'm staying where I am.
I'm gonna leave Shadow Moby in there too, just in case he needs to be a distraction.
Okay.
I'm where I should be.
As soon as you telekinetically reach out and feel purchase on it and lift it, it feels very light, no more than 3 or 4 pounds, and you see that glowing, pulsating rune disappear. And as you see a bright, shining light somewhere off your peripheral, you see on the back of your hand that rune is currently pulsing. You have on your hand, but you have the orb levitating up in space. And in this moment, you hear a sound from multiple sources in the cavern. Many sources of creatures, for some reason, somehow have just been alerted. And I would like everyone to go ahead and please roll initiative. Functionally, you're all standing where you're standing,
Okay.
and the orb is still hovering over the chest.
Good,
Oh, I
good,
don't have
good,
a-
good.
initiative rolls are dog shit.
I get pretty lucky with just a +1. Like, I don't feel like I often start below 10.
I hate single digits. Almost always.
Also, being last in initiative, though.
Don't sing it so joyfully. Don't be joyful when you sing that.
There's something on my fucking hand.
Roulette goes, one of us. One of us.
I show it to her. Oh, Jesus. Look at those little grumpies.
We don't
Okay. Let's do this. Looks like maybe everyone is in initiative. Is your Spectre still active, Jiri?
It needs an 11.
11.
He put in chat.
Where did... Oh, there it is. I just couldn't find it for a second. Add turn 11.
What do we do with this orb?
I don't have it. I'm sorry. Oh, maybe I do.
Okay. At the top of the initiative order, looks like they are up first. Toby Rama, you hear a clawing sound, and though many things in this room were inspected to some degree, not all the walls were necessarily checked, and through a dilapidated, partially crumbling section of wall, you see some rocks begin to fall over here as many creatures begin to pour through.
Just lure them to the target.
Well, right to the top of this.
And they're going to dash. Many of them are going to get pretty far. None of them close enough to get you guys, I don't think. But they look like slimy, grotesque, not hardened skin, already translucent skin creatures start to pour in, as well as some small, grotesque, bulbous. Your best estimation puts them at like loosely a chicken, but with mouths that open wide, and many rows of teeth seem to be churning within. These slimy creatures have sharp barbs pointing, jutting from their bodies all over, but they begin to start pouring from that opening and charging toward all of you. That will be their turn, functionally, but it looks like there are, like 8 individuals at this time. Jiri, you are the first to react. Toby Rama, you see these, but Jiri, you're able to turn and react quicker. What do you do?
I'm gonna head down by Toby. I'm gonna line up a great big shot here, and I'm gonna blast them all with some electricity.
Okay.
Hey,
Go ahead and roll your... Oh, they need to make dex saves. One closest to you. Success. The one next. Fail. Then the one in third. Fail. And the last one.
Nice.
Fail. So the first one closest to you ducks under it. Only taking part of the damage, but the rest of them are fried with a lightning bolt. Go ahead and roll your damage for that.
Oh.
34 damage.
Hyper Spark is a cool name.
I love that name.
What's the spell, though?
Lightning.
Oh.
Lightning bolt, I'm assuming. Bolt.
The one that ducked under your lightning bolt is certainly scorched with lightning arcing past their body. These other 3 past it take the full brunt of the attack and are turned to almost completely ashen, charred individuals, but are still moving. You have been detrimental to their health, but they are still alive.
All right, so that was, let's see, 20 feet. All right, I'm just gonna kind of get next to Toby here and kind of like just take up a defensive posture next to him.
Okay. Perfect. You orient yourself like that. Toby, your turn.
Shit, I thought we'd have more time. Toby will step here, and then on this location, his hand will become a light with his magical mist, and he'll trace a circle on that square, and like the space becomes shimmering with light, and out of this like pool of light emerges a figure as I cast Guardian of Faith.
Oh.
Wow, very cool. Is that a medium size or is it large? Wow.
So I would say
something like that.
Yeah. So like I traced out this pool on the ground and this figure rose out of it.
What does it look like, this figure?
A circle.
It does look humanoid. It has 6 wings behind it.
I see.
And I don't remember what I've seen in my visions if it ever had wings, but weapons, but I'm modeling it after that. So otherwise it would just have arms at the ready to strike.
I will go ahead and paste this in here.
Oh my god.
And then after that, I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and get behind this corner.
Okay. Very well.
That's my turn.
Dun, dun,
Spell
dun, dun,
cast.
dun, dun.
These creatures should not have moved at the same time as the others, so they just now break through this opening and get to their spots. We're not going to erase the lightning damage or anything, but we're going to say they just managed to get to this spot at this time. But that is their turn. Telperion, your turn.
I'm going to run forward, and I'm gonna jump over to here. So 20 of my 55 movement. Can I see the wraith from where I am?
I'm gonna say no, because from there earlier with the slanted ceiling, you're not able to see the ground level of that next.
It descends a
space.
bit.
Correct. Yeah, it's like a 15-foot descent, and the ceiling slopes down with it.
All right, Roulette. I'm gonna try to grab the orb or the jewel. But I want to just use the rest of my movement because I can do another hop. And that's all my movement. That's 35 feet. I want to look at what the wraith is doing.
The wraith is just continuing to hover and float, pointing to the orb.
All right, I'm gonna use my Kair to bring the orb to my hand, and I'm gonna grab it.
Okay. Let's do this for fun.
Delete.
And I want to watch the orb I want to watch the wraith's reaction as I'm doing this.
You pull the orb slowly toward yourself, still seeing that pulsing green light on your arm, and the wraith just drops its arm and continues through this wall and out of sight, disappearing.
And I hold the orb and nothing happens.
You grasp the orb and nothing happens. Are you grasping it with the hand that is lit up or the other hand?
Great question.
I'm not even going to think about it because I was picturing grasping it with both.
Okay, then the same hand continues to pulse green as you make physical contact with this orb. The orb is wildly intricately carved. It's a marvel that this was hewn from seemingly emerald crystal. And actually, with your fairly high passive investigation as a character, you can see at the very top of it, there's a small hole orifice that allows sort of air to get from the outer space to the hollow interior of this. There's an orifice to this hollow sphere.
Okay. Well, that was my action and my movement, and I'm stranded there. So bonus action, I really can't do anything. So, Roulette, I didn't die from touching it. I'll bring it out in a minute, and then I pause.
Okay. Spectre's turn. Shadow Moby.
All right. I'll send down. Oh boy, he's not gonna be able to make it too far. I'll get no. They're there. That's it.
Very well. Rome, it is your turn.
Oh, wait. You can go 50 feet. So 5, 10,
Oh.
15, 20. Right there.
Beautiful. Does he have a fly speed? He might be able to fly over the tar too in a way that
He's
is
got
more
a hover.
efficient. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Wait, let me see. One more time.
You know, hover over tar.
I think so.
It's like a futuristic vehicle, a hover tar.
Okay, so yeah, I'll get him right next to Jerry then.
Okay. Perfect. Roulette. Oh no, sorry, Rome. It is your turn.
Rome is going to be casting Spike Growth on this area where all.
Damn.
Heck yeah.
It was really funny because the circle was in the other spot, and I was like, "Ooh, she's got big ideas
Yeah.
there."
It's
Amazing.
difficult for me to make like circles with this thing for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
it is tricky on roll 20.
Measure it.
They should have a little number where it says it counts up on your
One,
Yeah.
design.
One,
the
two,
size.
three, 1. Okay, is it a 20-foot radius?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Area becomes difficult terrain for the duration, which is 10 minutes. When a
1,
creature
2, 3, 4.
or
1,
within
2, 3,
the
4.
area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage
Okay.
for every 5 feet it travels.
Damn.
So when it appears, what first happens? Do they need to save on anything, or do they only save on something when they try and move through it?
Only when they try and move, but then also
Okay.
any creature that can't see the area at the time the spell is cast must make a wisdom perception check against my spell save DC to recognize the
Okay.
terrain as hazardous before entering it.
Understood. Okay, that is very difficult and spiky terrain. Is that it for Rome?
Yes, that is all.
Okay, roulette.
I am. If I'm. That's silly, Billy. If I'm at the top of the stairs, like here, can I see any of the creatures?
If you're at the top of the stairs, no.
Like here. Okay.
You dashing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You can cross this gap actually. If you jump
I
it.
could, that's what I was gonna do. I mean, that's 30 feet. That's my movement right there. Action to, sorry, movement to get there. I'm just jumping that 5 feet across. And then I will fudging sticks. Yeah, I'm gonna hold my action. The second that I can see something that looks hostile, I'm gonna cast Firebolt at it.
Okay.
Bonus action, I will have Alfie move down to, let's say, here. And I'm gonna have him take a swing at the closest one. No, Alfie's just gonna go here.
Okay,
That's my turn.
perfect. It is these vengeful creatures' turns. Okay. Gonna hopefully go through this somewhat quickly. They're going to rush through the spike growth, and they're going to come within your spiritual guardian. I need you guys to help me out on what happens to these creatures. Alex, do they automatically have to make dex saves when moving through the spike growth, or they automatically are going to take some damage?
They automatically take 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet they travel.
Okay, then Toby Rama, your guardian of faith, is it once movement puts them within 5 feet of your guy, does he automatically attack them?
So if they move to any space within 10 feet, he will attack. They make a dex save. On a fail, it's 10 damage. Success, or
Yeah.
on a fail, it's 20 damage. On a success, it's 10 damage.
Does he count as a person occupying a space, or is he ethereal, do we think?
Hovers in an unoccupied space. The guardian occupies that space and is indistinct except for a gleaming sword. The guardian vanishes when it has dealt 60 or more. Theoretically, I think he could technically do 70 damage, but
Hot.
Got it. Okay, first things first. This creature attempts to move out of the spike growth, moving 5 feet and proccing spike growth. Alex, will you go ahead and roll your spike growth damage for that creature.
He only had to move one space, correct?
Correct.
And
I feel like we're playing Keyboy right now.
We are.
damage.
He takes some damage and begins to squeal. He also moved into a space near the Guardian of Faith.
The
so
Guardian
he's gonna
will
make a dex
attempt
save.
to reach out with its arm. 17 is my save DC, so it saves. But
Okay.
my Guardian reaches out and tries to suck like life out of the creature to fill the pool he's in. But only does 10 damage because he succeeded.
Okay. So mark 10 damage off your total. He will take that damage. Because these are tiny creatures, he will attempt to skitter through that occupied creature's space with an acrobatics check, which is just dex for him. Success. Oops, shit. But he will get sort of trapped in that space because he can't push past a medium creature space, meaning the specter. Okay. Then this creature is going to do the same thing. He will automatically take that same slashing damage. Essentially, all of them are going to be able to move enough to clutter up this space, constantly taking some slashing, trying to get under, but you all are all barricading this entrance. Alex, for ease of convenience, I'm going to apply your damage to all of these creatures. This one is immediately cut to pieces as it is trying to climb through the spiky growth and just falls limply dead as
so
it emerges. Toby, go ahead and give me another, or this one will make a dex save.
Uh-huh.
It does
Succeeds.
dodge and takes another
10 radiant.
10 in addition to Alec Rome's thorn damage. And same with this guy. Another dex save.
That will be a full 20
A full
radiant.
20 plus Rome's damage. Very much injured.
It's per 5 feet. Is that
Yep,
it?
every
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so some of those are taking that multiple times. 1, 2, 3,
Crit, I think that-
4, 5. That guy's gonna get shredded to pieces as well.
Gorgeous. Wonder if they're doing anything to protect us on that.
1, 2.
Very
They're
easy,
run.
I
Oh,
think,
yeah.
they don't get to run either. He's
I
gonna
hope they
rush
say
too.
something to me.
And it's difficult terrain, so they only move 15 feet in here, but that's 3 more times 6 was the damage. Is that
Yeah,
right?
six was the average there. Yeah.
times
Okay,
3.
so he is also injured by the spike growth. That will do it for their turn. Sorry for the chaos there. Jiri, you are up.
So these things didn't attack us when they showed up?
I'm sorry, they absolutely would have.
Yeah.
Critter, can I see any of them at the bottom of the stairs?
Yes, they are getting up to the stairs, so now you can start to see them, and you can conjure one firebolt toward one of them. 23. Which one are you targeting?
Let's say the bottom one.
Okay.
12 fire damage.
It leaps up towards Alfie, ready to strike him, and you incinerate that little fucker.
Yes.
However, he was within an enemy space and can use his bitter vengeance. When reduced to 0 HP, it can make one melee attack toward Alfie. But he's like dying as a scorched husk and just limply claws against Alfie's exterior harmlessly.
The top
then
guy was going to do something.
This guy will also attack the specter, trying to get through its space and continue its movement. So it will just do its normal attack. I don't think a 14 will hit the specter.
It does.
Oh, it does hit.
AC
So
is-
not satisfyingly because it is not magical damage, but it does do 8 slashing and 1 necrotic, but probably
Immune to
half that.
necrotic. No, it's
Immune to necrotic, so
and then 4. So yeah. So just
4
4
total damage toward Shadow Moby's form before its turn is over. Now it's Jiri's turn. Sorry about that.
All right, Jiri will take 1 swipe Have we seen this thing before?
No.
You guys have never seen this being before, but it seems angelic and ominous, almost Dementor-like, except in ivory cloaked robes, gray with mist wings that just sort of drift into its body, almost fueling it.
Toby, is this yours?
Yes, it's helping hold the space and will attack any of the bad guys.
This your friend?
Okay. Then I will attack this thing with a sword slashy.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Sorry, Griff's being annoying right now. He's attacking me.
No worries.
I feel like Griff heard Archie bark.
Maybe.
My friend.
17 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
14.
14 damage. Let me send that guy to back so I can look at this guy. 14. Got it. Bloodied.
Still
Black
up? Okay.
ichor slicing through his form, or spraying from his form.
I'll attack him one more time. Ooh.
Okay. This time, that little skittery creature, only about 2 feet tall, ducks out of the way as your sword harmlessly clangs against metal, but a little bit of lightning may strike him.
Yeah, 6.
Okay. Certainly not nothing. That will do it for your 2 attacks. Anything else from Jiri?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Toby.
Toby will. If I get here, can I see into the room yet?
No, not very far.
Okay.
You can certainly see this one at the bottom of the stairs, but you can probably see the edge of the carapace of this nasty creature that you guys had slain.
Word range is 5. I could hit that guy with an arrow, right? Like I could get it between Jiri and the Spectre.
Yes. Yeah. For the functions of this campaign, I don't think we're going to get too hairy about cover through creatures and stuff. If it's in line of sight, you can.
Then, yeah, I'll just do a weapon attack or a shot from an arrow. 19.
19 will hit. Go ahead and make your attack or roll your damage.
Ooh, very nice. 11 piercing and 7 radiant.
As this thing is slain, dead, in a bitter vengeance, it will lash out against an enemy creature within 5 feet of it, making one more attack at the Spectre it was trying to get past. 18 against the Spectre for 2 slashing damage before falling dead.
And then I will get back behind the corner and get out of Roulette's way.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
It is the Wretched's turn, who are going to eviscerate themselves. This one moves 5 feet, immediately dies. This one is going to move 15 feet and take 18 damage. Unless you want to roll again, Rome. For the purposes of this chaos, I'm just kind of treating that 6 as our number.
Sounds great.
Okay.
And then it will get close enough to the Guardian of Faith.
This one also dies.
Yeah.
Shredded to pieces on this insane spike growth. This one damaged by the spike growth and getting within 10 feet of that guy who needs to make a dex save.
Which will
Does not
fail,
make it.
getting him to the 60 damage, and the pool he is standing on has become brilliantly light and then seeps into the ground and fades away.
Okay. The Guardian of Faith, having done its full damage capability, disperses into mist. And this creature looks insanely riddled with lesions and wounds and ichor dripping from its sores. That'll do it for their turn. Telpiri.
I wonder if there's any fight going on. I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna hop here, and I'll bring the orb with me. So that's 15 feet. I'll move another 5 here, and then I can go 10 more. That's the end of my movement. Yo, what's going on? And I don't know if you want to bring the orb with me.
Yep.
I guess Can I see in the room or not from here?
Not from the top of the stairs. You can see like maybe the edge of where Rome's spike growth is, and a bunch of slain, fucked up looking creatures.
They came through the walls.
Which
All
also,
right.
these guys look like this. They're very slimy, mucusy, barbs shooting out of them, and then these wretched Sorrowsworn are like chickens with rows of teeth within.
Oh, cute.
Did you draw that?
No, that was it's a roll 20 token.
Did
The other
Declan
one
draw
was a
that?
Oh, I think it's cute.
It's up here and there's only 2 left.
There's only 2 left. Well, I can't see them.
To what?
2 what? I'll use my action to dash, I guess. I don't know what. Yeah. No, I'm just gonna hang out here. I've never just let an action go by. I guess I'll help. What is Jerry doing? No, I can't.
Jerry's like just killed one of the, or just finished like smacking this one right there.
Can I give Jerry a help action on his next attack? Or is that not working?
Yes, you can take the help action, but it doesn't guarantee advantage on a strike or something. You have to flavor for me how you're helping with your action, and that would be the help action. So it could be used for various purposes.
Okay.
But
A pep talk probably won't do it. I'll just dodge. Actually, you know what? No, I want to test a theory. I'll use my action to dash, and I'm gonna move into this space and see if they come after me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
bringing the hovering orb with you, or it's in your hands currently, carrying the ball, you run over there, and that will be your turn. You also, just out of flavor, it might not make it back to their turns. You do see their attention fixed on you as you run down with the pulsing green rune on your hand. Their eyes seem to look in your direction.
As I do run by, I'll use my bonus action to try to push this thing 5 feet back. So it would end up there.
Okay. Is that a strength save?
Yep, 14.
That is a fail. I know it's forced movement, but it's going to be shredded by some vines and spiky thorns. So I think it's going to take damage again. Just further cutting it up with lesions and wounds. Spectre's turn. Shadow Moby.
Alright, Shadow Moby will hover over the spikes and try to suck this thing's blood.
Go for it. Go ahead and roll. It's not restrained or anything, so just a straight roll, but definitely able to avoid the spikes with its hover. $13 will hit this thing.
Oh.
3d6. Necrotic damage. 10 necrotic damage.
10 necrotic damage. These things almost seem more full of gorged muscle rather than blood. They're not quite like the other creatures, and it is resistant to, but it does take some of this damage. It takes 5 necrotic damage, which how does Shadow Moby kill this little
Yes.
The mentor
teeth
kisses
chicken?
it.
Beautiful. You see its essence just suffocates, drawn from it, and just falls over limp, dead.
Great job, Shadow Moby.
If that will do it for Shadow Moby, it will be Rome's turn. Your spike growth has been incredibly valuable, and there's 1 injured creature left within its circumference.
Let's interrogate it.
Let's interrogate. I think I'm going to produce flame and lob a flame to it.
Okay, go for it. I will say, based on you're still standing at the top of the stairs, you may need to venture a little further into the place to get vantage on it.
Oh, okay, so I could move.
Even if you just push past Jiri to stand here, that would be enough to let you see it.
Sure. Okay. So I move
Um,
here and I cast Freeze Flame.
22 absolutely hits for 7 damage.
Just kill it.
Got it. It looks very injured. Trying to
That's
pull free from some thorns in its leg. Roulette, your turn.
Wait, how tall is Rome?
How tall is Rome?
I would say she's like taller than average. Like 5 foot.
6'1"? What's
Yeah.
average for an ancient dryad?
Yeah.
I guess that's
Exact
I'd
numbers
say
here.
like close to 6 feet tall. I want to say that she's taller.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's not taller
So-
than Jerry.
Telperion might edge her out by an inch or two. Jiri's definitely got a couple inches on her.
No, just one more than Telperion does.
Okay.
You never let Tim say his height first.
No, you get. You have to go first because we all know that you would change it based on.
Oh, I
what-
would 1,000,000%. I would 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Scratches
Roulette.
out 6 foot, puts 6'7".
He has like 6 feet, but then he goes, wait, 7 foot 6 inch?
No, it would only ever need to be 1 inch taller than Jiri.
Roulette's dead? Oh my gosh.
I strut down next to Rome and I firebolt at this thing.
Go for it. Go ahead and roll.
Oh, that's cocked.
This thing hits some of the growthy, spiky vine and burns away part of the vine, but not impacting the creature.
I want to waste a magic missile on this. I'm not doing it.
It's gonna kill itself right now.
I know, but I really wanted to flavor how this thing died with Rome.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's my turn.
Okay.
Well, now it's going to run farther.
With that, it continues to run. Yeah, benefiting from a little speed boost because some of the spike growth was burned away. But still, before it gets close enough to anything, will die. But because it's within 5 feet of Shadow Moby, it will get one last chance at its bitter vengeance, striking something within melee distance. Or 16 for 3 slashing damage.
Amazing.
And then it falls limp and lifeless to the ground. Telperion, the rune on your hand continues to glow and pulse, but you don't sense the sound of additional creatures called to its presence and location.
Shit.
Alright, yo, look, this is fucked up. When I started levitating the orb, it put this device on my hand. What does it look like?
The orb?
No, the device on my hand.
The rune.
Oh, it's just a rune, and it looks like a spiraling pattern of what looked like actually a thorny, radial symmetry spiral of thorny branches that end in a circle.
Rune, Rome, have you seen a rune of this kind? Did I say roulette? Roulette in Rome, have you seen a orb? Or, like, have you seen this before? Is it arcane? Is it druidic? Is it undead? Dark?
Can I take a look at it? Mostly
Yeah.
compare, like having
Yeah.
some experience with hand marks.
Yeah,
Well,
go
let's
ahead.
try
Yeah,
to
exactly. Go ahead and make a Arcana check, roulette, and go ahead and make a let's just say a general wisdom check from Rome.
$15 from me.
11
Uh,
for me.
Rome, you don't specifically know what this magic is, but you do sense that it is druidic in nature, natural magic, not divine or arcane, and certainly not touched by undeath or foul magic. It is just natural magic has marked Telperion for something. Roulette, although you don't have this spell in your sort of arsenal, you can tell that it is a lingering spell that is currently placed upon Telperion right now.
Oh.
You're just not sure what spell.
Telperion, I'm not sure if it's like a curse or something, but we should be able to, well, we can find someone. I don't know if Toby can do this today, or I know he's worked it in the past, dispelling some kind of effect on you or removing a curse. But
Do you
it's something-
feel any different?
No, I don't. I just wonder if it's like, I wonder if I pass it off to one of you if one of you touched this orb, because
If it would stay on you, or
well, do you want to try it for educational purposes? Then I mean, I don't mind holding it, but I think those things either were drawn to the rune on my hand or the orb itself. But I wonder if one of you picked it up, if it would transfer.
or if then we would end up with 2 people marked with it.
That would probably. I don't think it would work that way.
And Roulette will reach out, or just like as she's examining it closely, just tap her non-brand hand to the thing.
Okay. As you touch it, in addition to Telperian's pulsating rune on his hand, one accompanies the back of your hand as well. And as soon as you pull your hand away from it, it disappears.
Okay.
Telperian, put it down.
I put it down on the ground.
You set it down on the ground, and the rune does not disappear from your hand, Telperian.
What if you went and touched it now?
Touch.
Telperian, the rune on your hand disappears, and one is on Roulette's hand now.
So the left
okay.
one to really be touching it.
It's gonna stay on one person regardless. Whatever this spell is, it's gonna be the last person to touch it. And
Well, you say one person, but it did at one point when you both had touched it. It was on both of your hands.
But it was
now
only yeah.
So you described it as like it's a sphere, but it's
It is a
hollow.
hollow emerald crystal sphere with a small orifice at the apex, and it's delicately, intricately carved with druidic runes that don't belie sort of language information, but just rather iconography rather than true druidic runes. But it seems to be like a hollow vessel of some sort.
Well, I like that thing better because even though it drew attention to us, the magic is definitely different than this wicked, nasty, undead stuff. This is what I would expect to find in like this kind of temple.
Is Toby's gonna walk over to this kind of ornamentation on the ground and also just kind of look at the door. Does anywhere near this, like the ground or on the door, look like there's a relief that could accept something of that size?
It does not appear so.
Do we want to look for another key? I want to search all these bodies.
I'm gonna take a look over at the wall that the creatures came through. Can we travel through it as well?
I would say it's a small opening that small or tiny creatures could easily get through once it was broken down. You will have to squeeze, but a medium creature can squeeze through this space. So if you would like to, you can get through to that location if you'd like.
Oh, Roulette, maybe you should send Moby 3 through here and scout this direction while we look for keys.
Back into that hole. Yeah, of course. I will. I'll don my goggles and headset, and I will send Moby 3 into that room that the little midget demons came through.
Okay. Moby 3 is sent through. You get information that Jiri had previously. This connects to that room.
And I think Roulette would kind of figure that out as far as like spatially. We've made, 3 lefts, 2 rights, and
Right.
this is
Yeah, where a bunch of slain lizard folk or dead lay currently on the ground, though it looks, compared to Jiri's previous scouting, their bodies look currently eviscerated.
I'll have Moby 3 come back briefly. I will magical tinkering touch it to be a light source, just like 5 feet, just like a omnidirectional flashlight. I want Moby 3 to go in and just like get close to each one of these bodies to give a quick inspection.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. If you're using your eyes through Moby, you can use your investigation.
Okay.
We'll put the goggles on Moby 3.
That's a double portal.
Yeah, Roulette would not be able to see anything.
27.
There does seem to be something shiny beneath this lizard folk.
I don't think Moby 3 has hands. He just has wings.
I can go grab it.
Jiri, I think there is something in there if you want to squeeze through. Or Toby, you are the smallest of us.
Ooh, Toby, I'll send you with Shadow Moby to go get it.
All right, let's squeeze through.
And I'll have Moby
Army
3
crawl.
Cover.
Toby
I'll
will
have
army
Moby 3
crawl.
cover over the spot where it is.
Okay. Toby, you go over there and inspect that location.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You get over there, and I'll just reveal the end of that little corridor.
More to reveal?
There's just a hollow little cavern back there. But Toby Rama, without an investigation check necessary, since Roulette already directed you in the right location, you see yet another segmented geometrical snake-like key.
Dope. Grab it. Run back. Army crawl.
For a second, it sounded like you said nope. And just,
That's what I
we're
heard.
just gonna leave the key.
Do not want.
Yeah, and he'll stand up and hold both keys out. Okay. I think we can go forward. Where did the wraith go?
It went forward, like behind the door. Like it moved that direction. So I guess it was right behind the door.
Do we want to see what's around that bend?
Just around there.
Stop it.
I'm not squeezing under there, but if anyone wants to.
It seemed to be a sort of dead end over there when Toby revealed that area.
I'm gonna pick up the orb and just let it be on me for now.
Okay. The rune disappears from Roulette's hand and reoccupies your hand.
Bring it over to the door where everyone's gathering.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna put the keys in and just go forward.
Anyone need healing? Anyone looking worse for wear? I think we did a good job holding those off.
Shadow Moby's almost dead. But again, I don't think you can heal him.
Do you want me to try?
I mean, we can see what happens, but...
I will walk up to Shadow Moby and use my Healing Hands feature to try and restore 8 hit points to it. Which it says... Racial... Touch a creature and restore 8 hit points.
Okay. Give me one moment.
Do you have to get on Reddit for this, or just in the spell description?
Toby Rama, go ahead and make a wisdom check. The DC will determine something. You hit the DC. As soon as you begin to push your healing magic and conjure it to your fingertips, you almost feel resistance, as it is not your healing magic is not easily summoned to your hand, and you very quickly sense that this thing, that Shadow Moby, is utilizing undeath energy to fuel its form. It is considered undead and is not going to benefit from healing magic. So, but you realize that before you expend this capability of your healing hands.
I can't pull my hand back. Okay.
What happened?
Is Shadow Moby an undead creature, Jiri?
I don't know. Shadow Moby is my buddy who's always been with me forever.
Did you know him before he looked like this?
He's taken all sorts of different forms. He used to be a kid. At one point, he was an old man. At one point, he was a cow. But it's always been Moby.
Tobirama, a free bit of information. Never before has Jiri's unseen servant of Shadow Moby triggered your divine sense. When you utilize that, he doesn't flash your awareness. However, when you did use it earlier,
like in
since
this room,
since this blood imbued specter form of Shadow Moby, you get an undeath sense from the globules and particulate mist of the blood within Shadow Moby's form, giving you the sensation that Shadow Moby himself might not be undead, but the energy used to fuel this form of him absolutely is.
Okay.
So who's got the keys?
I got both. Do we want to do one last check for traps, or do we trust the grand door and its 2 unique keys as just generally difficult to open?
Oh, I just say let's be on guard and keep moving forward since there's no other route left to us.
Okay.
Perhaps we should be out of line of sight of the door and like kind of be peering in. I don't know.
Blinking.
Yeah, for the sake of it, Toby will imbue himself with some false life at first level.
Although, wait, I have one question. What if we... would anyone benefit from resting for a little bit before we move on? This might be one of our only chances. I'm not saying... I don't know how long...
I would.
I just don't know how long Aquilari can distract. So that might be a risk.
I would think we would maybe want to get further before making that decision. Like, if we're at a point where we're ready to spring a trap or something.
Especially with that target on your hand, Telperion. I don't know how many
that sounds
these
good.
things are digging out. So I'd say let's get this door open.
Okay.
Damn.
Is there a baby right there? There's a dog.
It's a dog.
Dog. I'll bring baby on screen later. Who's doing what right here? You rolled a d4 for
false life. Unfortunately rolled low.
Got it.
And I will insert both keys into the door.
You insert both keys into the door, and upon a little bit of rotation, you find they rotate in towards each other, and both of the snake eyes light up, and these 2 large 10-foot high doors swing inward and open. And I need you to please make a Constitution saving throw, Tobirama.
I can do that.
Oh, I wish I had been that.
As some poisonous gas immediately billows out from that location towards you. And you take 13 poison damaged and are poisoned and compelled to walk toward further into that cavern immediately. So you must use your movement right now to walk forward.
Can I snatch him?
Toby.
Yeah, I start just walking.
I don't think you were within 5 feet of him when this happened, so not yet. But Tobirama, as you move into this space, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh no.
That is such a cool combo trap.
I wish I had made both.
That is also a fail. Although you are compelled to continue forward into this poisonous mist, you are rooted in place as your feet sink a few inches into tar, and you are currently considered grappled. And you can feel a slight corrosive sting seeping into some of under your boots and through the top of your boots.
And
It's
am I
not
like
harmless tar?
Am I like now trying to like claw my way forward?
You are, yes, effectively, but you have just spent your turn doing this. At this point, Jiri, you're free to move forward and try and help Tobirama in this space. He's considered grapple, his feet sinking further into tar.
Is there an active cloud of like gas still like in this area?
the immediate flow that kind of billowed out upon the relief of pressure of the doors has dispersed. But yes, there is a continually present poisonous mist sort of just drifting amongst that space and heavily obscuring everything within.
All right. While I run over to Toby, I will also, like, with one hand, take out my wind fan and cast Gust of Wind, facing like north in this direction, and then with my other hand, I'll try to grab Toby as best I can.
Okay. Using an action to cast Gust of Wind will prevent you from pulling Toby out with an action, freeing him from this grapple. So all I want you to do is choose which one you want to do first.
I've got Toby.
Okay, then I will. If I hear Telperion say he's got Toby, then I will Gust of Wind first.
Okay. You Gust of Wind, and how far of a direction and how wide of a direction does that clear mist?
Good question. I haven't used it in a while.
I think it's 5
I
feet.
think us
5 feet,
I think-
like 5 to 60, I think it is. Like, or 10 feet long, 60 feet. 10 feet wide, 60 feet long, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. With that, I'll give you some more visibility of this chamber. As your Gust of Wind, not permanently, but momentarily, clears a swath of free air, pushing the poisonous mist to the side, you see out ahead of you a long, thin pedestal carved from seemingly what looks like blackened, ashen bark. And right behind it, the mist spirit just hovering. But you can see the poisonous mist is trying to fill the void that you had cleared out. But as long as your fan is pointed in that direction and active, that row will be clear. But it seems there's a continuously generated presence of this mist. But you clear a path straight forward. And Telperion, were you doing something for Toby?
Yeah. I'm gonna go up, and I'll just ask, can anyone give me a hand? And I'm gonna try to I'll kind of muscle Jiri out of the way if I can.
I'll run up. Well, I can't move, but I will run up. I will run up, flanking Jiri with you, and grab Toby's other arm to pull him up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull up Jiri with Roulette's help.
Okay. So you're free to either both make an athletics check, or one with advantage.
Am I trying to resist them?
No, not necessarily.
26.
You successfully pull Toby Rama backward.
Can I kind of keep
and although still poisoned, out of the mist, you are no longer compelled to charge forward. And the sizzling steam on your boots subsides as you are not in the tar long enough for it to acridly corrode your skin.
God damn it. I believe I should do this. Elixir of Health would fix poison, right?
It would.
So I will use the contingency band to use up an Elixir of Health to no longer be poisoned.
Okay. You're free to do so. You are no longer poisoned.
Should we rush now? How long do we have on your spell, Jiri?
Not too much longer, like a minute, so we should probably go pretty quick.
I'm gonna run.
There's a pedestal.
Are we just running into the thing?
We opened the door to see what was in there.
Let's go.
He's pushing the poison back.
Okay.
Did you want to think before? We don't have long.
No, let's go.
Okay, who charges in first? And I imagine you're jumping over these sections of tar.
Yeah, but I don't want to go on that middle one. I'm gonna go on this side. So where Toby is, I'm gonna rapid hop in.
Okay, that would be poisonous. The road Jiri is pointing toward is the only free area.
Okay.
10 feet, so it's like these two. So it's like, yeah, it's these two.
Okay, then I'll stay in that.
Is it a 10-foot wide swath?
It's 10 foot wide, 60 feet long.
Okay, got it.
So Jiri has to go last.
Okay. There is still poisonous mist heavily obscuring your surroundings, but you're able to easily rush through the cleared portion. Are you rushing toward the mist spirit and doing anything particular?
Well, I moved 35 feet. I guess I don't know if I can do another move or if the pole was.
Yeah, I
something-
mean, everyone else can let me do what they want to do. Since no one's in immediate danger, we don't necessarily have to go initiative-wise.
So
But you guys let me know what you want to do.
if we all move in, Jiri last. I'll start approaching the mist wraith to see if it's trying to get us to do something.
Yeah, I'll make the jump and get to the entry point.
Okay. How about
Boosted
Rome,
by the
Roulette,
air.
Alfie, Jiri?
I transform into a raven and fly over this mess.
Ooh.
Okay.
Land
Very
on
cool.
Toby's shoulder.
Very cool.
Orlet, you're up.
My thing is frozen, so I'm definitely going in last with Alfie.
As a note, the gust of wind originates from and is directed by Jiri. If you go in last,
Oh, sorry.
you're going to be poisonous mist might fill in behind him.
Last before Jerry. Last except
Okay.
for Jerry.
Okay,
Perfect.
Perfect.
If you could move me, that would be great.
you bet. Oh, that's why.
I'm gonna go ahead and give myself the healing hands I was gonna give to Shadow Moby.
Okay. Everyone's sort of making their way into this chamber. Is there anything specific? Toby or Telperion, you are first in there, and this threat of these walls of poisonous mist on either side of you threaten to affect you should this gust of wind diminish. But the mist spirit is directly in front of you, and right in between you and it is this thin branch-like pedestal that, now that you're closer, seems to have like a clawed hand open and facing up.
Unless anyone objects, I don't think there's any other use for this thing.
Hopefully it gets rid of the rune on your hand too. I mean,
Do we have to fill it with something? Or...
I think the
Well, I was gonna
gem.
put the gem in it. That's what this thing's been fixated on.
We should do it quickly.
I do it.
Okay. You thrust this emerald vessel down into the hand, and it sort of curls and grips it. And then you can see it automatically rotates the orb in the palm of this hand until the orifice is pointed downward. And like a metal spike juts up from the interior and it begins to fill this vessel, and takes an amount of time to do so. Over the course of 2 rounds, nervously looking at the side of you, the gust of wind continuing, a thick red fluid begins to slowly fill this emerald vessel. And once fully filled, spills, a new orifice being created from the top, overflowing and drenching this bark-like branch that finds grooves in the floor that spread out. And then with a grinding of gears or some sort of shifting movement to the either side of you, the mist subsides. And I will give you guys visibility of this room.
There's a dragon.
Hard in a moment.
Those lines are so clean, I didn't know there was more to this room.
All of the mist clears. And you hear another grinding begin to take place. And off behind the mist spirit, rotating sections of stone.
Oh, hidden staircase. Love
A
that.
rotating spiral staircase becomes visible. And Telperion, the rune on the back of your hand, dissipates.
Lovely. Do we investigate this room quickly, or do we go down?
What's the mist thing doing? Does it...
The mist simply sinks into the ground and out of sight. And noticeably, looking to either side of this chamber, you can see a half dozen other statues of lizard folk individuals, heavily armored, giving some regal presentation along the walls, and two more seemingly undead ashen roots of a tree acting as columns, where two snakehead mouths carved into them seemingly lay shut, and their eyes now diminishing what was a green glow.
They had been spewing out the mist, I think we can assume. I think it's, unless you feel otherwise, I think it's leading us towards the corruption of this place. So I say we keep following.
It's odd because I can't tell what's the corruption and what's the natural defenses. This seems like it would have been a natural feature of the building, but I'm game to just go forward. Does anyone care to lead?
Toby will lead.
Okay. Toby heading down first. The rest of you want to give me a marching order as you head down this staircase.
Me, because I'm scared he can get poisoned again. Not really, actually. But I felt bad you took both those saving throws, because both those saving throws are my
We're good, yeah.
throws.
I'm gonna remain as a raven for right now on Toby's shoulder.
On Toby's shoulder, got it. Toby Rama with Rome, Telperion behind him. Who's next?
Then Shadow Moby and Jiri, and then maybe Roulette behind us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm towards the back.
I'm gonna be in the back with like Roulette staying near her.
Let's carry it.
As you descend this spiral staircase, there are flickering flames that seem to be lit down here, indicating perhaps some presence that has lit them, or maybe they have been magically triggered with the activation of the spiral staircase. You're not sure. But you come to see the mist spirit once more, which drifts past and out of sight through another set of doubly locked doors.
They love doors in this place.
Try to move them. They're locked.
They are locked with two keyholes similar to the ones you have experienced above.
Oh. Do we want to run up and grab those real quick, or say that we had, or... Roulette, can you go grab the keys from upstairs?
Sure. Yeah, I'll run back up. Jiri, you want to help me get this other key?
Yep.
Buddy system.
And I'll run back with Jiri. I'll grab the one on the right door, and I'll count down with Jiri. Jiri, just in case these doors slam shut or something, let's do it at the same time so we don't get split up.
Okay, I'll take the left one.
3, 2, 1, pull.
You both pull the keys, and indeed, standing on this sort of stone archway between the tar things, as you pull them, the doors slowly creep closed, but you guys are on the other side of them and easily able to
because they
slamming on you.
Right.
So you guys pull the key and are able to rejoin your allies down below.
Can I, and feel free to make me make a check or tell me no. No, because I don't have the book out. I want to try and get a statue out of the book and jam the doors open as they're closing. How fast are these doors closing?
Yeah, they're not closing that fast, so I think you could absolutely sneak in an action to conjure a statue into place. Do you do so?
Yeah, I want to try one of the lizard statues that I literally just picked up. I want to try and just like wedge it in between the doors.
Smart.
Okay. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check just to see how well it's situated. You find a perfect spot under sort of the armpits of this creature where it catches the doors and is preventing them from closing in this moment.
Beautiful. I will mark that off.
Okay.
Was the orb, the jeweled orb, did it just stay there overflowing with like blood?
It is currently sitting up there, grasped by the root branch claw.
Did the red stuff look like blood, or did it look like a different coloring at a quick
Do
glance?
you want to go back up and check? I would say at a quick glance, just thick red fill.
That's all we need
Yeah.
right now.
It is still continuing to pour out the top very slowly, this trickle of blood sort of keeping the spiral staircase activated and the poisonous mechanisms inert.
Shall we continue?
Let's try the keys. I hope they're the same ones. I'll try a key.
With
Okay.
that,
Or if you guys want to do it.
yeah, Roulette and Jiri have the keys brought down. You guys opening them?
I will hand it off to someone.
You two do the honors if you want.
Okay, I'll do it. Jiri, you take the right, I'll take the left, or whatever we just took. I forget which one.
I feel like Jerry would say
Okay.
yes.
Jiri would say yes.
Yeah, he said yes.
Perfect. You guys fit the keys in their respective locks and open the door. You can see there's a small staircase that descends only about 5 feet before continuing on to a long, dark, virtually pitch black chamber. All of your dark vision is helping you see far into it, but the flickering flames near you and the braziers don't help make dim or bright light available far in there. But as you move forward, you can see in this darkness evidence of many, many tree roots acting as columns that have been blackened and are just a dusting of ash covers their exterior. You guys all moving inward?
Do we want to see if they're going to come awake? One more casting of the spell.
Asking of what?
Finding traps.
I would save it.
I
Save it for an area where things maybe seem even safer. Here, at least we just know to be on our guard.
Okay. We know to look for the columns of bark
Yeah.
as threats.
So I think we just kind of do we want to move forward?
Yeah, I'm gonna step to the side real quick and grab an arrow, cast light on it, and shoot it down the chamber.
Okay, you're welcome to do so, but as you guys move into this space and beyond, you notice the floor feels different. It's not stonework, it's like matted earth. And with every footstep you take, there's a tacky, sludgy. It's not thick, deep tar, but this entire subterranean cavern is covered with a thin layer of tar. And every step you take takes a little bit extra effort. Every step in here is difficult terrain.
Oh, ew.
Do
Yeah.
you think that this is a sign that we're getting close to the corruption?
I think so.
Certainly feels like that.
Yeah, and I'll try and land an arrow with light on it about here.
Okay.
Could I fly ahead as a raven and see if I see anything up ahead?
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check with the ravens. Or no, your wild shape allows your statistics. So yeah, go ahead and make a perception check as Rome. And Toby Rama will effectively light this space that hopefully I can light here.
20-foot radius bright, and then a further 20 feet of dim.
Oh my god.
We will say, for the purposes of this light, I'm gonna just send your spiritual weapon out here and
Sure.
give it an aura. Now, you said how much of a radius of bright and how much of a radius of dim?
So 20 feet bright radius, and then an extra 20 feet of dim. So a 40-foot of dim.
Okay. Functionally, that amount of this chamber has been lit. Bright light within the interior circle, dim light out past that. And you're
I don't
all
think
welcome
ours
to move
changed.
forward. Oh, did I? Oh, maybe I need to make that visible by.
I can see it.
How? You
Oh.
can see it? Okay.
Because it's on your item, maybe.
Oh, because I can move it too.
Yeah, can you make that public for all of us to touch and interact with?
I'm not sure how I would do that. Because the aura should be visible for everyone. Save changes?
Can you put it on the wraith?
I mean, it's 40 feet around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we just draw a 40-foot circle?
That's so much less dynamic
fine.
is the problem.
Yeah, that's hard.
Aura. Oh, here we go. Player permissions C. Player permissions C. Save. Got it?
Yeah.
Hopefully. Okay.
Yeah.
So that amount of space has been brightly lit, but functionally the rest of the map has been somewhat revealed for you guys. Rome, go ahead and what was your perception check? Oh, 24.
I was gonna do like a loop of this whole area and then swoop back
Sure.
and transform so I could let them know it's off.
You are able to see this whole area fairly clearly now with the light aiding your sight. And you see a couple things. All of these columns in this roughly 20-foot high chamber, maybe 25 or 30-foot high chamber, every one of these columns seems to be a withered and ashen root of what is likely some larger tree up above, including 6 very large, thick roots that have been carved into the iconography of a snake head, or at least serpentine in nature. Not quite an adder or viper or python, but serpentine for sure. And most notably, on this wall in the back, there is an array of a very subtle, deep purple coloration, pulsing runes of distinctly druidic magic that you're able to see and read and understand. And although druidic doesn't necessarily depict language per se, it depicts like a hieroglyphic understanding of thoughts and ideas. And you get the sense immediately with this perception check that this crumbling portion of wall, which as you can see from below, there's like a hollow portion and tar underneath it where sections of this stone have crumbled and broken and shattered and have fallen inward, collapsed in on itself. A broken sigil sequence that likely held very potent, nourishing regeneration magic that you can see thin lines spreading outward to all of the roots in this expansive environment. But because of the nature of the broken sequence, they are sort of perverted from their intentional creation. Something has broken the sigil sequence, and now whatever magical ritual suffuses this whole space has been fouled.
Gross.
And the Mistwraith just hovers here, pointing downward to its right.
Okay, I return back to the group and then de-transform to give them that information.
Okay.
We should probably proceed with caution.
So broken sequence, Roulette, does that sound familiar where magical sequences will like do the wrong effect if they're broken?
I mean, we saw that with the mirrors back in Athenian. When you have kind of an enchantment of sorts, if it's broken, it usually just stops working. But if it's modified or changed with ill intent, it could certainly say, put a negative number in front of an equation, it drastically changes what it does. I don't know what kind of negative number this is, though. Pretty big one, I'd guess. Such a nerd.
What's an equation?
I'm such a fucking nerd. But yes, Toby, to your point, some like a powerful enchantment like that could not easily be changed, but I'd say could be changed.
Shall we investigate?
I think we should go say hi to our friend up there and see what they want.
Well, let's move forward.
Okay.
Before we forget, I'm gonna use my ring to regain a spell slot.
Okay. Spell refueling signet ring. Got it.
I'm also gonna do false life again since I just used it up. Get nice, much better.
Okay.
And I'll give Jiri warding bond. Because those both last for an hour, so that feels reasonable to do.
I look at what the Wraith is trying to gesture at.
You see where it's gesturing, there is a lump, tar covered, laying on the ground that it seems to be pointing to.
I try to jostle it with Kair.
You do, and a limp body sort of rolls over, slumped, and as it falls to its backside. You see a few items on it. Most notably, the tar sort of seeps away from its exposed chain shirt armor it is wearing. A beautifully pristine chain shirt of what you think is certainly elven make, but very different from the craft you've seen from your people. And there is a barely corroded steel pin affixed to it, which looks like this.
Ooh.
Additionally, there seems to be a necklace on this individual, a simple string of black leather, though not corroded from the acidic tar in this space, attached to a bright amethyst crystal pendant that sort of thrums a bit. Those are the obvious things you can see at this time.
You said it was an amethyst pendant?
Correct.
That's thrumming.
Correct.
I'll specifically...
The mist spirit just continues to hover, pointing at the body.
Who wants to check out what?
I'll look at the Wraith and ask, was this you? Does it make any gestures?
This continues to bob up and down in its space, and almost urgently pulls its arm back and then points at it again.
I'm gonna go over.
And I will say with you walking over toward it, and it pointing you in the direction of the pin that Telperion just saw, you notice very specifically you have seen this icon before. With your journeys, your brief experience with the Serta Mora. This is the crest of the Serta Mora, depicting 3 merged iconographies of deities. The scales of Kelemvor, the wings of the Dusk Maven, Raven Queen, and the teardrop of blood of what was a deity you had not been familiar with that they had mentioned, Vol, V-O-L. 3 deities represented in this single crest of the Serta Mora.
S-E-R-T-A.
C.
Oh.
Come on.
I mean, you all see Toby very confused, like bewilderment at seeing this icon. What in the... I reach and I grab it and pick it up.
You're welcome to detach it from the pristinely preserved chain shirt that is on this individual. And with them being on their back, some of the tar continues to slowly seep away from their face. And though heavily pockmarked due to corrosive tar, seems to be an elven individual with pointed ears, but very concerningly pale skin. Telperion, you can make a history check.
Yes, I can. Should I try a left-handed roll?
Couple of
17.
17 is good enough to know the very basics of what is taught, that your reflection of elvish kind on the Feywild are the Eladrin, and in the Shadowfell are known as the Shadar Kai. This is unequivocally a Shadar Kai elf, a denizen of a different plane, the Shadowfell, and somehow a bearer of an icon of something Toby Rama knows to be what you've experienced in this plane.
Do you all remember the Eladrin that we met and how they were elves in the Feywild? This is a Shadar Kai, which is an elf of, would I know Shadowmoor? As a concept. Or another plane.
Yeah, you know some basics of the Shadowfell as a plane.
Shadowfell,
it is
okay.
It is a
And I just
dark
say Shadowfell.
reflection. Yeah.
And I'm going, if no one's gonna stop me, I'm gonna reach for the amethyst.
find out that.
Roulette, I noticed that you had moved over here.
Is that a big
And-
pool?
Oh,
It is. And so
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know that when you get to here, your
Yeah.
foot sinks in about a foot.
Oh no.
And with time, you're able to pull it free. But you can tell that this is not just like the rest of the thin layer of tar covered. This is a hole that something has burrowed through or into.
Gross.
A massive hole, partially into the floor, partially into the wall, that likely broke the sigil sequence that continues who knows how far and to where. Although I will say, you being that close with your passive investigation, this area of tar has been left to sit stale for less time, and there has therefore been jostled, is less viscous, slightly more translucent, and you can see from the arrow beaming light the hint of metal or a glint of shiny something down in the depths of where that tunnel goes.
Can I tinker light a rock and just... Yeah, I'm going to tinker light a rock and just toss it to see what happens.
You do so. Telperion, you're welcome to grab the pendant from that Shadar Kai individual. Toby, Rama, you certainly have the pin. The rest of that body has not necessarily been carefully inspected. But you toss in that pebble roulette of the light imbued rock, and as it sinks to the bottom, it eventually gets swallowed by darkness. But as it gets closer to the bottom, roughly 30 to 40 feet downward at an angle, you see much glittering of coin and potentially other items down in that acidic tar that likely is some sort of hoard of whatever has burrowed in and out of this space. And I'll say at that point, you guys inspecting this situation, we can come back to that next time as we hit our 4-hour mark, and that might be a good place to end before additional preparation
in.
or action is taken.
nothing happens when I pick up the amethyst, though.
Nothing happens. You're able to pull it free from their head harmlessly.
Okay.
Certainly seemingly magical, pulsing with amethyst of violet energy through the amethyst.
But it
And,
doesn't react.
very thin leather cord that should have rotted in this environment and has not. It does not react.
I think it's got something else on its body, and then we can end there.